Okay. I'm sorry if that was loud. OBS just decided it was gonna throw a random error. I kind of read it halfway and then I got bored of reading it, so I just pressed the button again and it worked. So, sorry about that. I don't know what caused it necessarily. Admittedly, I probably should have paid attention to the error, but it's whatever. Also, my Twitch is bugged. That's fine. Hello, Nathan. Congrats on grabbing first. Hello, hello, and thank you for submitting your taxes. I hope you're doing well, dude. Good to see you. I watched your Forever World episode. I was watching that just before I started stream. It was really good, actually. I like first episode, dude. Insane first episode, and I'm excited to see what else you get up to on there. That was really cool. That was really cool, actually. Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're gonna just be getting up to some odds and ends. Plenty of stuff to do today. I still have a lot to do in terms of Minecraft announcements. Minecraft Live put out a ton of stuff that I wasn't particularly expecting to be so soon. Like, I thought we were gonna have a few more days for Tiny Takeover, so I've got to get everything ready for release day for that. I need to get the extra announcements done for Minecraft Dungeons 2, and then I need to start compiling some stuff and ideas for the Chaos Cube drop. But you know, it'll take some time. I'm gonna hopefully get this Forever World video wrapped up before this weekend. I was gonna have it done last week for Saturday or today, Saturday or Sunday. I wasn't sure which day it was gonna be. Ended up being neither of them, but I wanted to have something out because I know it's been a little bit since the last video. But this one's a really big one. It's currently like 40 minutes long. So I don't know how long the final cut will be. I'm still doing time lapses, but it'll be ready when it's ready. And it's a decently big episode, really. I think I go a little too detailed at times, which probably is to the detriment of the video. But at the same time, you know, I'm so far into this production that it's kind of too late to turn it around and restart the video. Because there's a lot of work done already. So I've just been kind of slotting in more work to put into the episode at random places if I want to. And some of that might actually be done today. We have a lot of stuff to get done. And it's not like we're on a time clock or anything. So I'm not like super concerned if we get it done in time. But for example, right here, that all needs done, like the wall around the bottom of that bridge or walkway. That needs done. I'm gonna hopefully get that done today. Oh, hello. That is a whole group of them. Quickly wipe these guys out. Like I said, I am not exaggerating it in any of my episodes. These guys are legitimately everywhere. It's just crazy. So many of them. I'm a person. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Hello, hello. Are you gonna play Dungeons 2? I haven't quite decided yet. I didn't actually play through all of Dungeons 1. I played a lot of it, but I didn't actually finish it. It was a good game. I fell out of the habit of playing, so I never finished. So it's on my list. I would like to do Dungeons 2. I'd like to play Dungeons 1 as well, I think. But it all just depends on how it falls. I've got a lot of projects that are necessary to complete soon, and I have not completed them. So I don't want to fall too far behind and then try to fulfill another promise like I'm gonna do something. But it's on something. It is something I would like to do. Yes. Itchmag, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Minecraft is a great game. I like it. Do you ever find that your video is going to be mostly time-lapse and you need to fill it with normal gameplay? Sometimes, yeah. I try to... If that happens, I usually either delay the video a little bit so that I can front load the time lapse or spread it out sometimes. Like, for example, the next video I have, I do a lot of talking about plans and such. I kind of speed run at the beginning of it, trying to fit in all the progress that we made beforehand, because in between episodes, in between the intro of the last episode and the intro of this episode, I had done so much work, and to do the intro, I had to spoil a bunch of the work. So I actually like slotted in a time lapse that covered that, plus a bunch of work that I also did in the middle of the episode. And there was like some weird stuff I had to do in order to make that work, but it cut down the episode time by 2 minutes, so I only had to add a couple more minutes of talking in order to kind of balance things out, as opposed to, you know, doubling the count. Luckily, a lot of this stuff, if you're willing to just say the episode will come out when it'll come out, you know, internal deadline kind of thing, it's not so bad. You can kind of delay it a week and say, okay, I'll do more talking in this one. I actually think I almost did too much talking in this next episode, because I cover my thought process on how I build. It was for the question or comment of the day. And as you guys can see, this is something pretty big that I was building. And there were some new techniques there that I had not messed with yet. For example, I really haven't done shading and gradients. So that was something new to me that I was messing around with while recording that video. Finding the source images for this build so that I could kind of use it as inspiration was really hard as well. And there was a lot of talking involved on that. Also, that is uneven. Okay. We'll need to get up there and mess with that a little bit more, because it is off. Hello, Cool Colts fan. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Snacks, it's good to see you. Nikita, hello, hello. Thanks for spending your taxes. How are you both doing? It's good to see you guys. How's life? Life is alright. I'm pretty tired, but I'm hanging in there. I can't complain too much. I cannot complain too much. So what I'm going to start with is we need some sort of block, and I'm thinking we may just start with cobblestone, and then anything we need after that we can kind of do some gradient with. But if it's a small enough area, you may not even care that it's all cobblestone. We'll try that first. I may end up needing to change some things up. We'll see. I created a YouTube Minecraft channel about the news. That's honestly one of the best ways to get into it. You learn a lot about editing. You learn a lot about script writing. I think Minecraft news is one of those things that's easy enough to pull an audience on it if you know what you're talking about. And it gives you a lot of good practice without having to come up with like a bunch of original ideas or anything. Like, don't get me wrong, you still have to make your own, you have to come up with your own takes on it. You gotta decide what's worth covering and what's not. You know, I used to cover every single snapshot. And that was bad. I will not lie about that. That was terrible. You don't need to cover every single bug fix snapshot. It's just not worth it. But it was worth it to cover the future snapshots. So it kind of taught me a lot about what's worth your time and what's not. And that's what I would recommend for a lot of people. Just you'll learn a lot about where your time is worth. I have no clue if this is gonna look good, by the way, guys. I'm just spitballing here. Got to watch Saturday Night Live UK last night. It was pretty good. Nice. Awesome. Didn't bother. I heard it was rubbish though. I mean, I thought it was alright, but some of the jokes weren't the best. Funny, but not. I was laughing at all the jokes. That's fair. It's a hit or miss. I mean, I've not seen Saturday Night Live UK, but SNL tends to kind of be that way. They've got a couple of bangers, really good jokes, couple of good punchlines, and then a lot of the times it's just kind of like, this isn't really funny, or it's not my humor style. But I can understand why somebody might find that funny. Dude, Pink, thanks for submitting your taxes. I appreciate you, dude. Was alright, and then there was overthinking, so less alright. Yay, distraction though. Oof. That's fair. Overthinking is easy. I can relate to that. It is really, really easy to do. But I'm glad that everything was alright before that, and hopefully the overthinking is wrapped up now. But if not, I'm here. I'm hanging around for a little bit. I'm happy to provide distraction for y'all. It was a Twitch clip channel and a Stranger Things channel, but it is my test channel. That's fair. Find what you like to make. That's, you know, really the more important part, I guess, of YouTube. I feel like a lot of people make YouTube videos not because they want to, but they like the idea of it, I guess. I don't know. That comes off very elitist, and I'm trying to find the right way to phrase that idea. You know, not everybody's passionate about YouTube, and that's okay. But YouTube, I think the best YouTube content, in my opinion, is the stuff that's made because people, like, actually properly they actually want it. Like, that's something that brings them joy, is making YouTube content. Those are, like, the best videos. You can tell when their heart isn't and when their heart isn't. And so, you know, I see a lot of people on YouTube asking for advice on how to come up with video ideas, how to pick what your channel is about, and all those sorts of things. And, you know, the vast majority of people say pick something you're passionate about, but I think a lot of people brush it off because it's not what makes the most ad revenue, or it doesn't have a huge audience for it. Like, don't get me wrong, getting views feels great. When a video that I make performs really, really well, it makes me so happy. But I don't love... I don't love YouTube because I can get views. I love YouTube because I can make videos and it actually gets seen by people. Regardless of the amount of people, I'm still being seen, which is awesome. I get to share stuff with people all over the world. Yeah. Do quite a few jokes where I didn't laugh, but man, that's a good one. The Eminem covers that Pete Davidson did were pretty good in my opinion. That's fair. Pete Davidson is funny. I know not a ton of people love him, but I think he's funny. Do algorithm sucks for new channels? Sort of, yeah. I can kind of agree with that sentiment. I mean, I can actually testify to that to a degree. For those of you who don't know, CTR means click-through rate. So, when somebody clicks on a thumbnail you made, that is a click on an impression. An impression is just when the video gets shown to somebody on YouTube, on like their homepage or on the search bar or whatever. I have a ton, like a really high CTR for my most recent video. Like, it was at or above 6% earlier today. It's a news video. It kind of requires a big push at the beginning of its life cycle in order for it to do anything. Unfortunately, YouTube has decided to only give me 150 something impressions, so it's not getting any views while the news actually matters. You know, at this point, we're a couple of days, well, we'll be a couple of days removed, and then suddenly the algorithm will push it in its second wave saying, you made a good video, everybody likes it. It's like, it's too late. Now nobody wants to watch it because it was a recap. It wasn't really a deep depth, it wasn't a deep dive analysis or anything. Those at least have some life left in them. Some of that, you know, I guess is about making stuff that's more long-term. You know, if I made content that was based around the idea of it having a longer life cycle, it probably would be okay. But news is a little harder to just do that with. There might be some ways, but I'm kind of doubtful of that. Or I'm more so doubtful of my capability to do that at the timeline that I have to work in. Turnaround is just not there right now. That doesn't mean it will never work. It's just I may have to rethink my strategy a little. But I do agree. For newer channels especially, it can be an uphill battle pretty much the entire way. And sometimes the algorithm will be your best friend, and sometimes it'll be your worst enemy. There's like no in between, sadly. My brother watched videos by people. Hang on, I missed one of your comments first. By the way, I did not get the cinema job, but they did say they may be hiring in a few months, and I should apply then. So I must look good, but not the best. Hey, that's at least something there. That's good. That's really good. You've got your foot in the door. They'll recognize your name, hopefully, and they've got buy-in, or you've got buy-in with them right now. They're already kind of investing in you in a little bit because they recognize who you are. They recognize that you have some talent. They said that they'll probably be hiring again. That's good. That's really good for you. I know it's not the answer you want, but regardless, congrats, you know. It's a big deal to at least be known. That's the thing. They at least know who you are. Which is really the hardest part of getting a job, is getting them to see you. If you can get them to see you, your chances just improve a ton. My brother watches videos by people who make content for views and money, not for entertainment. Like Preston Plays, he was good back in the day. He seemed to like playing Minecraft, making videos. Now it's fake scripted videos that he does engagement bait, like rewind, watch at 0.25 times speed, and comment. And it's so annoying. He says it like 5 times in one video, and it's so annoying. Basically his catchphrase now. Plus, he has things in the background as comment bait. Yeah, I've gone on the record trashing Preston Plays content before. It's not that I despise Preston Plays or anything. Like you said, I respect what he did back in the day, but it does kind of feel like, you know, he's a YouTuber who is just trying to make the last bit of his money so that he can eventually retire. Once it stopped being fun for him, it probably ended up turning into what's my escape plan sort of deal. Because YouTubers who didn't go to college and get a degree, there is no fallback plan for them. You know? Like, I fully admit, I have put all my eggs in the basket. At this current point. You know, I didn't go to school. I didn't go get a trade of any sort. I didn't, you know, I've got my high school diploma, which I thought would be enough to get me most places because self-taught was a big thing when I was growing up, and it was still acceptable. But then it swung really, really hard the other way. At least here in the US it did. So I understand it to an extent. If I stopped enjoying YouTube for any reason, I'd be sunk. You know, I don't know what I would be able to do full-time, realistically. But, you know, Preston Plays has probably made enough money that he could retire 3 times over. And probably be just fine, truthfully speaking. What keyboard and mouse are you using? Hello, Sweden goalie. I am using the SteelSeries Apex something or other. It's this keyboard right here, the one that glows blue. I could probably tell you, it's on the bottom. The Apex 100 keyboard, SteelSeries. It's a pretty good keyboard. I recommend it. I've had it for several years. This one right here, this mouse, it's a random mouse I found on Amazon like 8, maybe 9 years ago. And it's some no-name brand. And it works pretty good. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Computer mice, you can tell the difference in. You know, a high dollar mouse versus a $14 mouse is just, there is a difference. I wouldn't be able to tell you what brand it is specifically. I find that it gets very dirty very quickly and you can't clean it because there's so many nooks and crannies in it. It's just a pain in the butt to clean. But I do have a mouse and it does the job right now. Actually putting lava on your toes. Yeah, no kidding. Hello, honey bun. Welcome on in. Hello, hello. It's good to see you. Blue. Yes, blue. I like having this keyboard, honestly. It's a nice keyboard. I bought it when I first got my computer, and it's lasted the entire life cycle, and it will probably last into my next computer, truthfully. And I do use my keyboard a lot, so you know, I can attest to the SteelSeries keyboard. You should get a Logitech for the G502 Hero. Nathan's saying something about the G502 as well. I do want to replace my mouse at some point. It's just I don't have the funds set aside for that, and my mouse is working right now, so I can't just justify saying it's like an emergency or whatever. But it is on my list. I probably will end up with a Logitech because I like the company, generally speaking. They make my webcam, which right now is having issues, admittedly, but it's an old webcam. You know, I can attest to their quality, truthfully. I am one of those guys, though. I am a little bit of a snob on this. I do not like wireless computer mice. I know everybody, a lot of my friends at least, they rave on and on about their mouse and it's wireless. And it's just like, I don't like wireless mice because they die. You know, I like a mouse that isn't gonna quit on me in the middle of a match or whatever. I don't play very many competitive games, so it's not like that's gonna ruin something. But in the case of, like, I might be on a minigame server or something, you know, that's my big worry on that one. But, you know, genuinely outside of that, I really don't have a ton of picky thoughts on computer mice. Like I said, the higher dollar amounts are worth it if you can swing the money. It just is. But they are also very expensive, so it's something that you gotta look at it like an investment. Hello, Rider for Life. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's all good. Good to see you. Kid Accords, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Boop. gonna pause so I can read. First, I'm not sure if I do content creation, but if I do, it'd be I'd do it as a side. I'm in college for game development, and I've been wanting to do this for over half my life, so I will be staying. Maybe doing other courses to have extra fallbacks, but I would like to one day be able to do something, even if it's like a Danny Dev type of channel, or maybe Brackies. I was helping out my friend and others in the class with programming a while ago, and it was fun. That sounds awesome. Yeah, no, that's fair. And, yeah, I honestly do recommend, if you can, and you're going to school, if you can pick a fallback degree, even if it's just a minor, that way, you're not completely and totally sunk if your industry dies randomly, or it becomes oversaturated and you can't pick up a job in that field. Find something that's secondary that maybe you don't love, but you could tolerate. Like, I hate that. I hate that as even a concept, personally. But if you can, and you have that ability, it's a good idea, just to be safe. You know, if I went to school, I'd probably go for something, probably two things tech related, honestly. Cybersecurity and something to do with, something to do more with software development, probably. Although, if they have it, courses here, we don't really have game dev as a normal course at a lot of our colleges and universities, but sometimes we do. If I have that as an option, I would pick that, because that's something I do want to do. But I would probably pick cybersecurity as my secondary. It's something that I like enough that I could foresee myself doing it. I need to get some more spruce logs. I already said hi, it's just YouTube telling me, dude, I feel like I have to. No, you're all good, Ryder. You're all good. Are you upside down? You're being spontaneous today. Yeah, a little bit. My Twitch chat can turn me upside down, so they ended up doing that. Okay, this should be enough to get us started. My wireless mouse gets charged overnight, once every 6 months. Hasn't died once in the 2 to 3 years I've been using it, and considering I've done stuff like have it on one with my phone screen, using it as a wiggle to AFK stuff before, and the longest it was on and being used was like 2 days, I think. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I may look into it. I might end up changing my mind on it. I just know one of my friends, she, like, her mouse dies all the time, and it hurts my soul. I feel personally offended when it happens, but it doesn't seem to bother her a ton. It would drive me nuts if my mouse kept dying. But I don't know. She may not take care of her mouse very much. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking we'll take this down. Wired mouses are better for gaming, in my opinion. That's fair. It all kind of depends on what kind of gaming you're doing, I would say. But I largely would probably agree with you, just in my personal experience. That being said, I can't speak fully just because I haven't used a wired mouse, or a wireless gaming mouse, rather. I've had a wireless mouse before, but it was one that was powered by like a AAA battery. So it was really annoying to charge up, because you actually had to go and find a battery for it. I don't believe in gravity either. Nice walls, thank you. It's not even April 1st yet. Twitch be pranking you. Exactly. They're doing things before it's appointed time. I need to consider what we're doing for April 1st this year. I usually do something just for April Fools, to be silly. I kind of think we're gonna pull this out and just square it. As much as I like how this could have been, I think it's a little messy, and we could probably just square it off, just like the rest of it's all been squared off, and it'd be fine. So what I'm gonna do is it's gonna come out one more than this. So right here, I think. Okay, and then I have plenty of cobblestone, so I'm not even gonna bother replacing it. I'm just gonna go with it. Okay. Boop. Coral, welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. It's good to see you. I like the mouse pad on laptops. Really? Oh, I can't ever use them anymore. It actually kind of hurts my hand to mess with it. My wrist cramps up. I used to do it all the time. I actually used to game on a trackpad until the trackpad finally broke. Then I had to go buy a mouse. Hit Accords, thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. I like mouse pads and laptops. I'm also wanting to try Godot at some point. I opened it and that's it. I need to lock in at some point. Maybe after I finish my current projects for college and my side project. I may try doing it as I do this side project and then make it in Godot. Then try my own different stuff in Godot. That's fair. That's a good idea, you know? I know a lot of game dev advice kind of recommends you have one... If you're trying to pick an engine, you make one game in each engine and decide which one feels best to you in order to help you pick which one you're doing for each project. But it's all about your workflow, I guess. I have a purple wireless mouse, but I get you. Mine broke in the middle of playing Roblox once, which I crashed out. That's fair. That is completely and totally fair. Next weekend must have come in handy. I missed a part. It's nice having a 2-day weekend. Just started my rest period. Were you able to get some rest today? Weekend must have come in handy. I must go to get rest. I did 2 sort of. Found at the concert to recover from though. I just change that soon. Oof. Concerts are fun. That is fair. I had to carry a mouse with me for a year in high school because I got a laptop for my dyslexia. But then they didn't give me a mouse for the first year. The second they did, luckily. That's good. Yeah, I could tolerate it until I started using a mouse. Once I was full-time mouse user, I cannot go back. Just even borrowing a computer from a friend, it has... I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't. It's nothing personal. It's just... Trackpads hurt my hand. I have, like, some sort of arthritis, maybe. Like, that's only halfway a joke. Because I don't know, but... It's definitely on the possibilities list. Boop, boop. Alright. Certified trackpad hater. Yo, welcome to the squad. I kid you not, my sister came home from college. I went into her room to see her. She was playing Minecraft through her laptop's trackpad. I would crash out using a trackpad. It's agitating. Yeah, no, I mean, I can relate because I did that at one point in time. But never again. Oh my goodness. Just, I couldn't. And it's not like a elitist thing even. It's just... I mean, for me, it's actually painful, but... I can't imagine, because your range, like your sensitivity is gonna have to go way up in order to actually enjoy the gameplay. It's the same reason I can't really play mobile. The way that you have to look around, it bothers me. But I guess you just do what you can in order to play. Like, you know, at the end of the day, if you're playing Minecraft, then it's a good day, I suppose. Unity may be my go-to. That's what my course uses. That's fair. That's kind of one of the nice things about those courses, is they do teach you like one engine very well, and it forces you to get very knowledgeable about it. It sucks because, like, if you ever wanted to swap engines, it takes a little bit of getting used to. But also, it's not just teaching you some abstract thing and then you have to figure it out on your own elsewhere. You're already kind of being, you're being taught what you need to know already, which is nice. I need more of this than that, but we'll just start really quick. There we go. Gonna lurk while making dinner. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it, kiddo. Thank you, thank you. Enjoy your dinner. Boop, boop. And then this log needs to go between... So we need to go... somewhere over here. One more? Yeah, right here, okay. Right? Maybe? Yeah, this will work. See you, Snacks. Enjoy the next episode of The Rookie, and we'll catch you another time. Sleep well. Oh. So it goes here, I think. I'm a little lost, if you guys couldn't tell, but I'm trying. I am trying, okay? Because this is really, really small, so it doesn't even matter. Like, that can go away, see? Boop. I may still have to do some texturing, because this is a little more cobblestone than what I imagined it being. Admiral, thanks for your taxes. Play at max sensitivity in almost all games, that's fair. I could never do it, but I know some people who really do enjoy a high sensitivity. High DPI is... I can't do it. But I respect people who enjoy it. Kind of a little wild for me, but each their own. Been a while. Hello, Enderman Goat. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. One more tax for 200. Yeah, you're getting close, dude. It's crazy how long we've been doing the tax submission thing. I remember when we added that, like, it felt like such a big addition to the streams. And it's been so long. Okay, so now we need to go back down there and just patch it to that point. Easy enough. Okay, that was a lag spike, and we all know it. That wasn't even fair. Nah. It is actually kind of hot. What the heck? I just now realized, like, I am burning hot. Hang on, what is it supposed to rain? It is. I'm gonna, like, open the window. Just give me a second. I'm burning. We'll roll with that. We'll see. See how it goes. How hot is my computer? Like, it is hot. It has it's averaging at like 60 Celsius. Hey Siri, what is 60 Celsius? Around about 140 Fahrenheit is how hot my computer is right now, which isn't like terrible. You know, obviously it's putting out some heat. It's not putting out all of that. But you know, it's no longer such a mystery of why in the world my back is currently soaked. I'm so locked in on taxes, 225 GG. My girlfriend broke up with me sadly, but it's okay. I'm sorry to hear that. You know, it must mean she's not the one, and that still sucks. And it's okay to acknowledge that that still sucks. But it's also good that you guys didn't end up wasting a ton of time on each other, both for your sake and hers, you know? It sucks. It definitely still sucks, but there's still somebody out there. Keep your head up, man. In the meantime, just keep doing what you're already doing, because it worked once. Coral, you're beating Admiral. Yeah, Admiral's slacking. I'm a fan. Hello, Lever for Fun. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Red Fishies, hello, welcome on in to you too. I need one more. Okay. I don't have my stone cutter, so we're just gonna. Okay. What's that looking like? I mean, quite honestly, it's ugly. But I don't know if it needs to be anything not ugly at this moment. What I will do is I think I want to do... Oh, let me think. Alright. Do I have... This is gonna be a little weird, but just kind of trust me, I guess. Trust the process. And then that is cobblestone. Oh, we got so much cobblestone. This is gonna look a little goofy. But it gives it at least something. If we don't do it that way, then we have to do more stone, which is just more gray. So I'm kind of the mind that we do this with the wood. And then when I'm actually ready to do some texturing and such, we could probably come through here and upgrade it a little bit, and that'll help. But right now, it's just... There's so much gray everywhere in this build that we have to be okay with doing more brown, and you know, that's the way it goes. Also, that was a lag spec. Lag. You know what? Screw it. I'm not even gonna bother trying to fix that one. You guys know what I was trying to say. I am lagging, and that's just the way it goes. I'm lagging mentally and technologically. How are you so good at building in Minecraft? I'm trash. I practiced a lot. That's not like an excuse or anything. That's just the truth. Practice makes perfect, and you gotta be willing to fail a lot. That's the only way to get better. But with a lot of practice, a lot of time and effort spent, anyone could be better than me, truthfully. I'm not fantastic at building. I've done a lot of trial and error. I've been playing Minecraft for a long time, like 14 years. So I've had a lot of time to mess up and a lot of time to reflect on those mistakes to get better. And I'm still learning things like, for example, this isn't really a good example of it, but shading, gradients, and all that. Over here is where I really did it well, I think. You can see it. This gradient there, it's pretty cool. And that's something that's new to me. I've never done that before. This is my first time messing with it, and it turned out well. But learning new techniques like that, always improving your skills, it's very important. It's very, very important. Welcome on in, Raiders. How's it going, Water Ghost? How is your stream? If you guys haven't already, be sure to follow the one and only Water Ghost. How's it going, Fish Boy? Thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. We'll go ahead and make another axe. We have plenty of deep slate diamond ore here, so we can afford it for now. Boop. Okay, now let me go ahead and read some chat. Are you the new admiral or just higher in rank? That's a good question. That's a really good question. It's good. Bro, I just opened a server and I need players to join. Do you want to try it out? I don't usually join other people's worlds, not right now. It's more so a safety thing. You know, if I join a world, people have access to more information than I really let people have access to. IPs are very valuable data in the streamer space, which can lead to things like doxing and swatting and things like that. But I appreciate the offer. I do not play Bedrock either. Hello, GK. Welcome on in. This is a single-player world. This is a single-player. Urson, hello. I just want to make sure I caught up on everything before I get too carried away. It's fun to stay at the water raid. Heck yeah. Welcome on in, Raiders. Uni, hello. Thank you for paying your taxes. I appreciate it. May you say that? I was already here, so oh well. Hey, no, it's okay. You were following orders. I don't get called Fish Boy until like a week from now, actually. Okay, my bad, my bad. I jumped the gun. I jumped the gun. Hello, Chuck. Hello. Hello. How are you doing? I love your streams. Thank you. I appreciate it. Means a lot. We were on King Alfie's SMP doing some pond building and nether building. Well, nether pond building. I see. Okay, that's fun. That's awesome. I need to hop on and check out all the ponds. I've seen some pictures of them, and you guys have been doing a great job over there. It's really, really cool. Forget about the Russian communist songs. Don't talk about that. No, that's cool. We like it. Gonna what? You joined a guy game in my stream. Is it dangerous? You joined somebody else's game in your stream? It's not necessarily super dangerous. You gotta be careful of who you do join, though, because if it's their server, for example, they can intercept your IP address. Your IP address gives a general whereabout of your location. And if you're a streamer who has any amount of viewers, it just takes one bad apple out there to say, I'm gonna try to report you to the police and say that you're building a weapon and you're gonna commit a terrible crime. And then suddenly police are knocking at your door, or not so nicely, they are breaking your windows and barging in to search for said weapon because they don't know any better. They're told what's going on by some other party and they have to answer it, you know? That's the sad reality. A lot of people get hurt because of that, because people think it's funny, and it would be funny if it was truly harmless, but it's not. That's the thing. I'm so tired. Hello, Emmy. Welcome on in. If you need to go, please rest. Please take care of yourselves. Let's have a song / silly. We don't talk about that, but sharing is caring. Exactly. You on a server? I used to. And I plan on bringing it back at some point in the near future, but there's a lot of headache that goes into that, and I will bring it back as soon as I'm actually able to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay, we need 29 of those. You get 6 per. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. 6, 7 is crazy. I sat in a room with blood-related strangers for 2 hours. Oh, I can relate. It's always awkward going somewhere and meeting family that you don't really know yet. It's fun, and it can be exciting, but also it can be super awkward. Because sometimes they'll also be like, oh, I remember you. You probably don't remember me. I changed your diaper when you were just a baby. You bathed in my sink. Can't count the amount of times I've been told that I've bathed in somebody's sink when I was a baby. And I'm just like, I don't know why that's the first thing that came to your head when you saw me, but thanks for making this mildly awkward. That's always fun. Thanks, yeah. They don't mean anything by it. It's just wild that that's the first thing that gets brought up. I need to eat. What am I doing? There we go. Okay. Quick learner, random hardcore realm. Can I erase that? If it was a realm hosted through like Minecraft Bedrock or Java servers that were officially by Mojang, I don't believe they go around sharing your IP. Most people are honestly not smart enough to realize that that is enough information to hurt somebody, and they don't save it. Because they're actually, most people are actually good people. I know I warn you guys a lot about bad people out there. But truthfully, it would also be wrong of me to say that every single person is out to get you. There's no way to recant that information. You can't just remove it once somebody else has it. If they were a bad person, they probably would have done something bad already. So I don't think you're in any danger, if that's what you're asking. I also forgot to do this side. So we need how much more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, we need 12 more. Boop. And then I need some more of those. That actually kind of worked out perfectly. Wow. Boop. Okay. Just changed my IP to a fake one when I joined servers so I don't get tracked. That's not how IPs work. Do you mean like you use a VPN? Because that can work, yes. There's still some funny, weird ways that you can get around that, but again, even that's like just smarter in general is to use VPNs if you can tolerate the lag. Because most people don't know how to work around a VPN. You gotta be really smart to get around it, usually. Then they're like, do you remember me? I held you once when you were 3 months old. Yeah, it's funny. It's really funny when that happens. My favorite thing, I think, is when I do actually remember them and they say that I probably won't remember them. But then they bring up the weird stuff. But it's like, you know, some of them are like, oh, you probably don't remember me. You were this short. You know, I was like, yeah, I was 5 years old, but I actually do remember you. I used to play in your backyard with your kids. And she's like, oh, you remember that? I'm like, yeah, I got good memory. Well, I have terrible memory now, but I have good memory from when I was a kid. I can remember a lot of things that I really probably shouldn't. I remember, you know, it always surprises my my mom, but she's like, you probably don't remember my mom, do you? And I'm like, no, I do. The things I remember. She would watch us occasionally, and my grandmother, she would watch us occasionally. Thank you for subscribing, I appreciate it, G. She would watch us occasionally, bring us to her house, and we would play games on the PlayStation. She'd make us spaghetti sometimes, different baked goods. I'm trying to remember. At one point in time, she was going through some cancer treatments, and I don't remember what prompted it, her to say it, but she said that she was thinking about me during it. It was really adorable. Now I'm thinking about it. My grandmother, she was awesome. She was really, really cool. You anything for the hydrate? I actually really need that. Thank you. Happened to me, but they had photos. No. Oh, they had the receipts too. That's awful. I'm sorry, Coral. Always that kind of person out there. I may have to change shirts. Like it is hot. I'll roll up the sleeves first, but we're reaching that point where I'm starting to question it. Me and Emmy are in call questioning your viewers, Rag, like perspective. Oh, my perspective on life. That's fair. I have a lot of weird views. Can I join your world? Hello, Angela. Yeah, Angela, welcome on in. No, you cannot. This is my single player world. Like Kat has mentioned there. I dropped a sub. You're my new favorite YouTuber for teaching me safety. No problem, G. I'm glad that I can provide that for you guys. And, you know, thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. Hello, Colton. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Hello, hello. Nathan with the candy. Let me go grab some candy. I am burning alive. No, that's a bad joke. We're not gonna make that. Not right now. You guys almost got like a glimpse of me a few years ago. I was about to make a mildly offensive joke. Just mildly. I just noticed the cute little Steve in the back. Oh yeah, him. Yeah, he's one of my favorite things that I own. He's pretty chill. He doesn't do much, but he's back there. What are you doing? I am playing on my Minecraft Forever world. We've got lots of things that we need to get done. So today we just started with this little retaining wall back here. It's nothing too crazy, but it's a little something something. We needed it. So that really helps complete this spot down there. What we also need to do is we need to come back over to the big archway. And we need to fix some things because it's uneven. I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's a couple of blocks that are off there. Free cam mod? Yes, this is just free cam. In fact, I can pull up the mods list. Yep, free cam by Hashalite. I couldn't remember for sure if that one was Hashalite. Thank you for the candy, Nathan. I appreciate it. Blend steel. W streamer, W viewer. All y'all. Genuinely. You guys are awesome. What buttons to press to enable it? I don't know what button does it by default. Mine is F6. It's usually F4. But I use F6 because F4 is my cinematic camera, so that I can move around and drift it a little bit, hands free here. But some people don't use cinematic cameras, so it doesn't pertain to them, and they can use F4. I actually secretly hate Reg. That's fair. Everybody does. Everybody hates me eventually. What happened? You look like old scary movie right now. We went back in time. It's all good. Trust me. I'll be back before long. I actually create a transition for when it goes back because I realize now that it just cut, and we've kind of discussed that it needs a transition back, but I've never sat down and actually worked on that. What are we doing right now? We need to do stuff. We need to do those entrances, but I'm not entirely sure what I want those to look like yet. I'm kind of thinking of maybe making it match those gates, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's go up to that gate and see if we can fix the uneven, the lopsidedness, I guess. Today's just kind of a random task day, and I'm here for it. We may go spend some time at the bee farm as well. We need to get some. We need to get some. What do you call it? Wax. Yeah, wax. Honeycomb. Just trying to remember the exact item name. It's kind of cool. Oh, thank you. I did that for April Fool's last year, wasn't it? Yeah, it was last year because it was on not Tiny SMP, Twitch SMP. I had the wrong T. I was a part of a server called Tiny SMP. That server was interesting. And then Twitch SMP was what I was on most recently. It's not normal. Yeah. You pushed the wrong button, stream gone funny. Okay, we'll just take normal deep slate. Okay, so that side right there needs to come down one. And then that side right here, right there needs to go up. And then I think it's good. I died on Tiny SMP like immediately. I forgot that was another Tiny SMP. Okay, I played on 2 servers called Tiny SMP that aren't related to each other at all. I forgot about that, Coral. I joined it just to die. I remember that. I really did forget about that server, I'm not gonna lie. It was a cool idea though. It was fun. But the other Tiny SMP that I was on was a content creator server full of tiny content creators who hadn't found a platform yet. So we kind of banded together and built a server, and it was all right. It was a fun time. I'm kind of glad it's over. Not to be rude to anybody, like all the respect to everybody, but it gave me the space that I needed in order to step out and build my own stuff and to find creators of my who fit a lot of my content ideals, I guess. So we just need to fix back here. We're good. So scooch ourselves on down. Okay. Not having wings sometimes really sucks. Let me tell you guys. That would be so much faster with wings and some rockets. Oh well. Please free cam mod now. You're inspiring me to start a new world. Hey dude, I'm glad I can do that for you. Minecraft is it's a lot of fun. There's infinite ideas out there. The only limit is your own creativity. And you know, I think a lot of people I'm not gonna like turn this into a dogging on AI rant. I think there's some use cases where it's probably okay. But I do wanna like just make note, like I don't encourage people to have my AI play Minecraft for them. I saw a clip yesterday or a few days ago. Queso was playing VHS store simulator or whatever. And one of the guys in his chat said that he should use AI to name his store. And he had like the perfect response for it. He's like, why would I take away my creative choice in this game and give it to a computer? Like, he's capable enough of using his brain. I know he doesn't look the smartest at times, but I promise you, Queso doesn't need an AI to name a store for him. But a lot of people have been turning to AI to do the creative work for them, and that hurts. Because that's the one thing that can't be replaced is human creativity. And by trying to replace your own creativity with a computer, it just kind of, I don't know, it takes the soul out of it. You know, that's kind of why I mention it, is because Minecraft is just, it's all about your creativity, what you do, and like, AI would never be able to tell me to build that. Never in a million years. Okay, maybe not never in a million years, but I doubt it could tell me you should build this in that location and it will look like this because insert XYZ reason. Like, admittedly, yes, that's actually mostly stolen from another game, and I could show you exactly where I stole it from. It's Star Wars The Old Republic. Look up the ruins of Calith on Tython. And it's this big gate. It's sort of borrowed from that. It's almost stolen, really. But AI might be able to say, yeah, you could build this, but it's very rare that it ever actually says that. And, you know, it's got its own, I have my own unique twist on it here. You know, I've done a lot of work to it to make it mine. And the caves down here, you know, all of this has been original so far. I've not copied anybody else. It's all me. AI regurgitates information, and that's okay. Again, it can be used for some things. Some things that's okay to use it for, but in the case of, like, creative application, that's human domain right there. That's our bread and butter. I don't pay computers to think. I pay computers to do the work I don't want to do. I want to be creative. I want to like live. I live in such a cool time period where I can actually be paid to be creative. And that's awesome. Not Queso. I I don't love everything Queso does, but I actually do agree with him a lot of the time. I think he can be a pretty funny guy. And he's probably one of the better people that we've made famous. I don't feel like he's really said anything that's all that controversial. He's never really... I could be wrong, and I may have missed something that he said over time, but we've made so many other people famous, and they've been so much worse. Queso's a relatively good guy, so yeah, as much as, like, I don't love seeing the same faces everywhere, I don't necessarily feel like I have to turn him off when he pops up on my screen. Kids these days won't be able to think and come up with things on their own anymore. That's like honestly one of my biggest fears, is that might be an issue one day, is kids not thinking. I mean, people my own age aren't thinking. People my brothers and sisters' ages, you know, they're the millennials, aren't thinking. AI has quickly replaced a lot of people's brains, and that's okay to, like, utilize it as a tool. Like, I want to clarify this again and again and again. A tool, not your brain, but as a tool. There's like a fine line there. And I think a lot of people slip and fall and don't know how to get back up out of it. Because once you start relying on it, you're screwed. You have to really fight and prove to yourself that you do want to think for yourself. You do want to be your own person. You know, it doesn't make you less valuable because you have utilized AI in the past, or that you've done some creative task with it once. Like, I will not say that will ruin your value as a human being. Like, that would be silly. By the way, this is my bee farm, guys. Hi. We need a fence post to tie off my horse. But I do... Oh, wait, no, I have a hole. Right. Come over here. I do worry, though. Like, I'm seriously considering it when I'm older. I have, kids. You know? I'm seriously considering it. Like, AI will probably end up being banned in my house. Like, and that's not to, like, punish them. It's because I want my kids to actually think. I want my kids to not be NPCs that regurgitate, "You're absolutely right, let me fix that for you." Or, oh, what does it say? AI, like, says the same phrases over and over again. It drives me nuts. Absolutely. You know, I've picked up on it enough because it is everywhere once you realize it. On YouTube, the amount of... I have stopped scrolling on YouTube to an extent because I blocked it on my phone. I despise scrolling. I think it wastes a lot of my life, and I'm just not happy with that. That's not like that's a personal choice that I've made. But there have been times where I've decided I wanted to watch some YouTube, and I've scrolled through there, and I've had to actually just turn it off because I don't use this term lightly, but there is a such thing as AI slop, where it's just some randomly generated video. And, you know, at first it was funny, but now it's kind of become this thing where it's not even irony. People are doing it unironically, making random generated videos because they pull massive views and makes the creator free money. Like, they didn't pay anything for the AI to make it. They don't pay anything to advertise it. because everything's free. Well, free. There's no such thing as anything that's free anymore. Free used to be like you'd get the item and you wouldn't pay with anything. Now when you get something for free, you may not pay with a cash or a bank account of any sort, but you're paying with your data. You know, ChatGPT is free. What are you giving OpenAI by using their product for free? Because they have to pay their server bills somehow. And I don't think people realize just how much data they're feeding these companies. I mean, Discord, for example, I use it for free. Okay? Like, I want to be extra clear. Free. I downloaded my packet, okay? I've downloaded my data packet. It is massive. Discord has stored gigabytes of information on me. And when I say gigabytes, like, that doesn't sound like a lot because we're desensitized to file sizes. We're used to games being hundreds of gigabytes in size. But when you're talking text files, there's no, like, assets in there. It's just text. To reach gigabytes, like, I don't think I have it still on my computer because it was just too big of a file. Let me see. Desktop. I might have it somewhere on here. I don't. You know what? I have a picture of the file size in media, so I'll just go over there. It is somewhere in here. Hang on. I thought it was in January that I did that. Did I miss it? There's February. 13.1 gigabytes. 13.1 gigabytes in 5 years. I've used Discord for 5 years and they have 13 gigs of data on me. So that should give you an idea of things that people use in day-to-day life. Like, for example, Facebook, that's literally how they pay their server bill, and they're open about it. They sell user data. Twitch probably... actually, no, not even probably. Definitely does. YouTube. YouTube sells ad slots, but they also sell your data. Google, same thing. That's Google's whole business model, is building a profile of you to sell to advertisers so that advertisers know what to sell you. That's all they do. And it's all hidden behind, we're allowing you to post videos on this website, and you're allowed to search for any sort of answer on the internet using our website, our search engine. But they're taking your data and doing stuff with it. And that's like, some of it isn't necessarily that crazy. Like, I don't think most people honestly care too much about data harvesting. But I do think some people probably are a little too careless of it. I'll admit, I'm too careless of my data a lot of the time. I mean, I've told some people online things that I probably should not have told anybody. And that's something that I have to live with. But it's also something that those companies probably have taken at some point in time. Like, it's very possible that that Discord has personal identifying information on me, like phone numbers, for example. I've sent a phone number to somebody over DM because, well, I had to. There was that, or it was, or I was screwed. Can you get in the beehive? Thank you. You know, it's bad when the accent comes out. Get in the beehive. Come on. There you go. I need them to be in the beehive so when they get out, they actually produce the honey. Chaos Killer, welcome on in. I hate the YouTubers who do YouTube for money. I like the ones who do YouTube to do what they love, to entertain others and get them instead. Yeah, I don't have a problem with people doing YouTube and making money. My problem lies in when they do it purely to make money and it's not something they actually enjoy. You know, I want the people who actually enjoy YouTube to make money. I don't want people who don't enjoy YouTube and are just trying to make a quick buck. I don't want them to make money. I want people who are passionate to be in their industry and getting paid for what they do. That's what I really want. What mod loader do you use? I am currently using Modrant. That is the mod loader I'm using. I've used a couple of other ones in the past, but I'm not a huge fan of them. Modrant is nice. I do like them. I'm sure they take personal data too, just to throw it out there. You know, Modrant is a free mod loader, because I believe not all... I don't think you have to have... If you make a mod loader and it's to be released, you can't charge for it, but I don't think you have to release it publicly, technically. But most people would not pay for a mod, truthfully. So how are they paying to keep their servers running? In Modrant's case, they accept... I think they used to accept donations. I don't know if they still do. But they also run ads now. And they also... they have their own server network. So you could buy servers through them. They've created a monetization system there that may not require them to sell user data, which is nice. Now, do they sell it? I don't know. I don't know, to be entirely honest. I'm just theorizing. Based on what I know about the team, it doesn't sound like they would sell user data, but they may. Who knows? Modrant I like most out of all of them because it's really easy to update your mods. Like, I can't wait for the next drop, Tiny Takeover, to come out. It'll come out Tuesday. And it'll be so easy to update all of my mods once they're ready. Because I just have to tell it to update to to 26.1. And then I press that, then I upgrade the Fabric version. And then all of the mods that have an update, you just press update all, and boom, it's done. Do your mods use Fabric, Forge, Fabric, Neoforge, or Quill? I use Fabric predominantly. Sometimes I have used Forge, but I prefer Fabric for my purposes. If you're playing like a heavily modded file, I find that Forge has the better mods there, but for just general vanilla plus, I find Fabric has the best stuff there for me. Al, thank you for submitting your taxes 30 times total. GG's. And my ID and some pretty personal stuff. Can't really send it anywhere safely anymore. Yeah, it's a mildly terrifying thing, just how much data is out there. It's now more than ever, it is easier to commit identity theft. I mean, we're at the point right now where I'm trying to remember. Somebody famous actually like ran into an issue once. And I can't remember who it was, but they basically had to tell their bank, do not let anybody move any money out of my account, even if it's me on the phone. Because when you're that famous, your voice gets cloned by AI, and then any personal information that has been leaked over time, like for example, social security number, date of birth, address, you know, any information that the bank may require out of you in order to move funds, it's easy enough to find that stuff now because it's been leaked in other places. And if they can copy your voice, suddenly they can get access to your accounts relatively easy. So they've basically started telling famous people, like, you have to come in if you want to make money, because people are calling and they sound like you. They know your information, but they're not you. And so you just have to basically say no moving money without me being personally there. Wait, this shader is a beauty. What's the name? Complementary Reimagine. Yes, I'm using Complementary Reimagine shaders. There are a couple of small settings that I tweak with it. Settings. I believe it's in camera. Color balance. I bump up saturation to 1.35 and a little bit extra contrast. Not much, just 0.05. And man, does it pop. It's my favorite personally, but I also understand not everybody's cup of tea. There's a lot of good shader packs out there, truthfully. Hello, Subster, by the way. You know, I love them. Does it have rainbow border with the settings? Probably. I don't know if I use the rainbow border. It'd probably be an other. I've got hand sway, ACT exclusive features. I'm not seeing it in here. It doesn't mean it's not. I also have the Euphoria patches, so it may also be in here, like fun settings. We've got all sorts of weird things in here. Like, I could add world curvature, which is mildly sickening, so I'll turn it on and I'll turn it off just to show you guys it. So it's a little weird. It might crash my PC, we'll see. Hello, Angelia. This is a single-player world, so you would not be able to join, unfortunately. Sorry. Okay. I don't know. I'm not really seeing the world curve, to be honest. Maybe it is curving. Yeah, it is. Okay. That's not awful. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than it actually was. It's a very, very subtle curve. I wouldn't personally use it, but there are some fun settings in here, I won't lie. I've done some of these before. Boat. This one, it lets you... It looks like the boat is on your head and you're floating on the water. It's kind of a silly one. They've got some cool ones out here too, though. Euphoria Patches is awesome. Let's see. I have one on here somewhere that I actually do use, and I can't remember what it was. It was probably to do with the Aurora. The Auroras have a lot of stuff there. Shooting Stars is within this pack. I don't really use a ton of the other stuff, to be honest. Hello, Rift. Welcome on in. Hello, hello. Okay. No more curves. We're good. Alright, what time is it, by the way? 9:30. Okay. I gotta be careful. It's going to, like, storm at some point tonight. Like, the temperature is rapidly dropping. I know it is. I have my window open right now. But depending on how bad of a storm it is, I do just want to throw it out there because I feel the need to always say this. I live in an area where the power goes out. That's just kind of to be expected when the wind gets high, if there's a lot of thunder. Um, if it comes to it and the power goes out, don't expect me to come back. It could be out for a whole night. You know, usually they're actually pretty good about getting it up within a couple of hours, but if it's a downed line, which we have had in the past, it could take them a decent amount of time. I think it took them 3 hours for the last line, and it was because it was out in the middle of the street, so they couldn't just do it. They had to close off the road long enough to actually work on the lines, and because it was raining, nobody actually wanted to do it. They had to shut off the whole block. There was a whole set of issues. How long till you end stream? I will be ending stream probably in the next hour or so. I've got some stuff I need to do for videos. I don't know if I will do them tonight or not, but I need to start at least writing some stuff. It is also really, really hot today in my room. The amount of times I've, like, reached up to unbutton my shirt before realizing I'm not wearing an undershirt right now is crazy. Like, it is toasty. Because usually when I wear a button up, I usually have, like, a short sleeve shirt underneath it just in case I do get hot so I can quickly take it off. But, not today. Not today. Red got a silly question. Did you see the stuff I sent? That's what I've been forgetting. I have not. No, I have not. I need to do that. Maybe tonight, possibly. We'll see. I have a phone call with a friend at 11, 12, or 1. One of those. Not sure when. And then I have a couple of video things I gotta do, like I said. That's just some quick script writing, probably. And then I should have time after that. So if I'm awake and alive, then I'll probably check it out. Reg, I gotta eat. Alright, sounds good, Water Ghost. Go ahead and get some rest. Thanks for popping in. It was good seeing you. Thank you again for the raid earlier as well. Go eat. Go do it. Go eat. EP time. Eep. Let's see. We got 36. That's still not enough. That's my only issue with copper, honestly. It's a lot for you to get even just a copper block, for example. But then you also have to... wax it. And that can take a long time if you're building big things out of copper. Now, admittedly, maybe copper wasn't originally intended to be a big building block, but I feel like it's asking for it at this point. It's a big block subtype. Oh, copper is gonna fit in great with cinnabar. I just now thought about that. Like, it won't fit perfectly because they're slightly different tones, but they're also kind of similar. They'll work in a gradient, that's for sure. It'll fill in a good gap. Sir, yes, sir. I knew I should have reminded you during the Minecraft live. That's fair. I forget so badly. I'm pretty bad about it. I sometimes hate Minecraft because when the shaders don't work. That's fair. I've always had issues with Optifine in specific. So now that's why I used Fabric. Iris is just... I find that it usually works best for me. I've not had very many issues with Iris. You know what? Screw this. I'm busy, or I'm busy. I'm bored, sitting here doing nothing while waiting for the bees to pollinate. So let's go this way, and we'll go back home, and we'll find something else to do for a little bit. Maybe we could fish. We need to fish for some more mending anyway. And we're getting close to when we got my first mending book, so maybe we'll get our second one today. I don't know. It's worth a try. I'm happy for Tiny Takeover. I'm with you there. It's not like the greatest drop ever, but it's got some fun features in it. I'm excited for the fact that we're getting an update first and foremost. Well, it's a drop. It is still a drop, but you know, I'm excited for just new stuff anytime it comes out. Golden Dandelion will be great. Yeah, I agree. The Golden Dandelion's pretty cool. Being able to have baby mobs stay babies is peak. I do wish they would add some of the baby mobs that they kind of basically told us that we wouldn't get. Like, for example, you can't get a skeleton horse, like a baby skeleton horse in the game, without summoning it with commands, I believe. I think the baby zombie horse was added for a very short period of time, and then they removed that. The baby camel husk was removed. I wish they would give us those. That's like the only thing I wish they did with Tiny Takeover, but they kind of removed some of them instead, which was an interesting choice. But it is what it is. Jams, thank you for spending your taxes. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I'm waiting for April Fool's update. I'm curious what it'll be, to be entirely honest. The last couple of April Fool's updates have been really good. The Potato Dimension, Craft Mine, like, they've been pretty fun. Craft Mine was really cool. I wanted to actually do a mini series playing through Craft Mine, but I'm gonna save that for another time, I think. It's still a good idea. It's just I think it would be better done if it was multiplayer, and I don't have friends who are not busy who would be willing to play right now. But one day we're gonna get around to it, and it'll be a fun time. I have one friend in specific that I think it would be a really fun game to play with. We'll get there when we get there. It'll be alright. Okay, what were we doing? Fishing, right, yes, fish. I'm sorry, guys, my brain is, like, toast. But, it's fish time. We caught our first mending book, like, a couple of weeks ago. And we are currently... Ooh, they updated everything. They updated it. I don't know what they did. My statistics? Okay. Vanilla screen. Oh, okay. Okay, shoot. This is cool. Huh. Okay, I kind of dig it. Anyway, my statistics, items, fishing. I have fished 5,263 times. Around the time we hit 6,000 is about the time that we'll probably catch our next mending book, which will be good. Reg, I learned something new recently. My birthday is 2 days after Chester's. Also, Linkin Park's Collision Course album was released the same year I was born. Dang! The lore goes crazy. Also, that means your birthday was somewhat recently. In that case, happy birthday, Riff. I only happen to know that it was recently because my brother told me that Chuck Norris passed away the same day that Chester's birthday is. And I know that happened recently. I can't tell you what day it happened for certain. It might have... It was a couple days ago. Is your birthday today, Riff? Or is it... was it yesterday? My time is like all wishy-washy right now. Let's see. I found a Minecraft mod that steals your info and gives it to hackers. Lovely. Oh, yes. Because that's a thing we need. Wasn't it? There was a Minecraft bug, like a Java exploit. It was across the board on all of Java, but not just Minecraft Java Edition. But there's like a bug that basically let people hack your computer once they found it by typing a certain code, injecting it in, and you could do it through Minecraft chat was how they figured it out or something. It was like something really absurd and kind of crazy, but it made playing on old versions of the game really, really unsafe for a while. Thanks, but not huge celebratory person. Perhaps be today. Oh, okay, well, happy birthday. I totally get not being celebratory, though. I get it. I'm really bad about it. I've had a lot of people, like, really want to do stuff for me for my birthday, and, like, I appreciate the sentiment. But I'm, like, the worst person to celebrate a birthday with. Like, for other people, I will go big on. I will spend my entire day with them. But for me, it's kind of like, I don't know, I just do the same thing every day. That's all I do. So I don't know how to celebrate. It's just not something I do for myself. I mean, recently, because you guys have learned my birthday, I have sometimes done a birthday stream. Sometimes I just cancel and say outright, it's my birthday. I don't want to do a stream. I don't have to. In the past, before you guys knew my birthday, I streamed on it once, I want to say, and I didn't tell you guys it was my birthday. And I got away scot-free. It was great. There was another time where I didn't stream on my birthday, but I just told you guys I was going to be out of town, which I was. But it wasn't that the big reason I wasn't streaming was because it was my birthday. I wasn't going to stream anyway. I just omitted part of the truth. I didn't download other, cause I'm not dumber than the word dumb. That is good. I've done a lot of stupid things. I'll admit that. I've done so many stupid things, but it happens, you know. There's sometimes a lapse in your judgment, and sometimes at that point you realize it's like, oh, I should not have done that. I remember my dad, he's usually okay. But there are times where sometimes, like, an ad will pop up on his screen and it says you have a virus. It looks like it's from Apple, but it's not. But he doesn't know, and so sometimes he clicks it, or sometimes he asks us what to do, but the times that he has clicked it, he goes, oh, I was not supposed to do that. And then he's, you know, then he's back to being fine, but, you know, it's happened to me plenty of times, too. I've looked over emails and thought they were legit, clicked into it, downloaded whatever folder it was, and I looked into it and inspected it because I'm paranoid, and I'm like, this is a scam file. I don't want to open that. That's staying zipped. Then you run all your antivirus stuff and make sure it's caught everything under the sun. You start it in offline mode. You run another scan. I'm very paranoid about that stuff. Because you're on Craig, you don't do birthdays when you're old. Exactly. That's my thought process. I haven't really, like, thoroughly enjoyed a birthday since I was probably like 13, maybe 14. I don't know. Like, at 15 years old, my mom, I think, asked me if I wanted to have a birthday party or something like that. And, so we did one. And that was alright. It wasn't like... It wasn't something high up on my list. But my mom asked me and she kind of wanted me to. So I did it. And you know what? It was a good time. It was a little awkward looking back on it now, but it was a good enough time. When I turned 16, it just progressively went downhill from there. Now that I'm like in my 20s, I've reached a point where I'm very content pretending the day isn't my birthday. My parents still take us out to eat, so they'll take us for a birthday dinner to, like, Texas Roadhouse. For those of you who don't know, you're missing out. They have beautiful, beautiful rolls. Really good rolls there. That's why we go. And, you know, that's about the extent of a birthday celebration for us. But some of my friends have started trying to pick up my own slack, I guess. Which I appreciate them for that. I personally could care less. But it really shows who really, 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 really cares and who's bothered that you don't celebrate your birthday. Because I understand, like, fundamentally why people celebrate birthdays. They're celebrating that you've made it another year. They're happy to have you in your life, blah, 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 blah. It's very sweet, truly. And, like, that's how I perceive it for other people. I want them to feel appreciated. But I already know I'm appreciated. Like, I don't want people to only think of me on my birthday. But, you know, it's, it doesn't bother me one way or another, really. I guess. So long as they're not making me do something. Like, if they ask me, do you want to celebrate something? Do you want to do something on your birthday? Like, if they ask me, the answer will probably be like, sure, we'll do something. But if they tell me, then it's kind of like, I don't know if I really appreciate you telling me we're doing stuff. I've had a lot of people do a lot of telling. Yesterday did a 6-hour drive home, and recently my body has been in an insane recovery state. I'm still recovering the final micro tears from that 31-song session. Holy cow, dude. Slept like 12 to 14 hours today. Jeez, that is fair. That is fair. Earned as well, might I add. Just don't feel the need for a huge celebration anyway for birthday. That's completely fair as well. One dumb thing I did was download a virus. I think we've probably all been there at some point. You must be sad. Happy birthday. Wait, when is your birthday? My birthday is July 7th. 7/7. I had, like, the easiest birthday growing up. Because I always got confused, especially as I became more and more online, who I was talking to. Because some people write it month, day. Some people do day, month. I've never had to worry about that. I just tell them my birthday is 7/7. Boom. I would tell you guys, like, a lot more lore about 7. Needless to say, it is my lucky number. But there's so much lore that goes on with that number that, like, some of it is probably not safe to share. I don't... I'm like, I think there would be no harm in it, but I'm not sure exactly if you could reverse engineer it, is the other thing. So I try to be careful a little bit. I can say this. I will say this much. My mom has gone on the record and told me that, she was, at least she said she was induced in the morning at some point, so she said there's a high likelihood I may have been born around 7. So like, there's that. There's a little bit more to that story as well. Sounds was a bad day for us in London. 2005 is 2005 your birth year? No. I was born a year earlier, so my first birthday was a terrible day for you all. I apologize for that. Do you guys like lose a soccer game or something? I'm sorry. That's probably super insensitive. Whatever actually happened probably was terrible. I just threw the most standard European thing at your face. I know someone whose birthday is 6/7. That is insane. Even older than you thought. I know. I'm that unk. I'm very unk. I sure. Hey. My mic is super delayed. Give me a second. Check. There we go. Alright. Thanks for your taxes, Coral. I appreciate it. While you're getting a lot of shoutouts. Dude, the internet says bye. Thought about it and crashed the stream. Oh, wait, oh, well, you know what, Nathan? I think I might know what you're talking about. Hang on. Yeah, okay. I mean, I'm not gonna make any jokes about it. Also, my Minecraft crashed. I'm scared. Did we lose anything? I'm gonna see a carton of milk. Here, everyone has that one friend who steals villagers' house for theirs. Oh, absolutely. My calendar now. Thank you, I guess. I think. Birthdays just get more sad the older you get. That's true. Very true. Aren't we the same age? Then that would also mean you were born the same year Collision Course was released. I was 04. I don't remember when Collision Course was released. I'm sorry. Did I submit my taxes? I didn't. Hang on. We gotta fix that. Try to recover. Okay. There we go. Boop. What am I missing? Admiral, congrats on the big 200. GG's. Coral 226. Born late 2007. How does that make you feel? That is crazy. Actually wild. Nathan, Nikita, thank you for spending your taxes. How old are you? I finished high school a year before you were born. That is actually crazy. Oh my goodness. Loves, thank you for the tax submission. I appreciate it. Yes, right, I'm also 4. Okay, gotcha. Cool unk, though. 1988 or 87. My guess is 87. But I don't know. I don't know to be certain there. Alright. How bad is it? What's the damage? We may have duped some items accidentally. But I have no way of knowing, because I wasn't paying attention to the items, so we're just gonna go with it. Power 4, punch 1. Yeah, they duped. Okay. I'm gonna sleep again and see if it breaks. Just bear with me, guys. Okay. Nothing. Wait, no, 88 or 89. Finished high school at 16 earlier than you guys in the US. You 1990, nope. Old, nope. What? Am I not doing the math right? I have no clue, dude. I'm gonna be honest. It's the fishing crash all over again. I know, it's awful. It's terrible. Ah. I'm struggling, guys. Okay. This and that. Make a couple more barrels. Boop. My lag, I almost lost the world. Oh no. I was 16 when I left school in the summer. I turned 17 later that year. 2006 minus 16 equals 1990. That would be what that equals. Boom. I'm looking at chat, but I'm not comprehending that. Okay. I probably shouldn't have started stream again, but I wanted to, so I'm doing it. I'll tell you what, we'll give you guys another 20 minutes or so. And we'll go for 15. We'll shoot for 15. That's what we'll do. Cause I have to be careful. I'm cooking. I am like baked. That's a word for a different term. I am toasted. I am burning alive, really. Dude, I love fishing. Me too. Loves me too. Kid Accords, thank you for submitting your taxes. I appreciate it. Welcome back. How was dinner, by the way? Yeah, but no. 1991. Guys don't think Regnog is a druggie. I don't do drugs. The only kind I do are the legal kind. And those are prescribed. So, they're not the kind you're thinking of. Not usually. I'm not gonna elaborate on that any further because I'm just digging a hole. I'm gonna drink some water now. I keep making you younger, Nathan. I know. It's very nice of Coral, I think. Dinner was good. Made some goulash. Ooh, nice. We've been through this before. Same year the World Wide Web was invented. Right, you're old. You're really old. He meant... he's not that bait. He's heat bait. like feels like a cake, basically. I'm baked beans, dude. Oh, baked beans. Oh man. This is going back to my grandma topic, but she made some killer baked beans. Like, outside of her, my mom can make some good ones, but they're not the same. They're not the same, and they never will be, and that's okay. But I do remember that about her. She made really, really good baked beans. Uh, 1990, 1989. I had a crazy week. My hotel had bed bugs. And I'm back home and kinda bug free. Kinda? Oh. I'm sorry. That's awful. That's awful. I'm really sorry. I've had a fair share of hotel experiences that were I've had a handful of experiences that were less than ideal at hotels, but none with bugs, thankfully. Ironically, since we were just talking about it, I've had experiences. How do I phrase this? I've had experiences where we found drug-related items in hotel rooms. That's been fun. But thankfully, I have never had to deal with any of that. Uh, 1989. They already know. They just forgot. That's almost worse. Yeah, you're not wrong. Taylor Swift. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. If it was 17 when I was born. Oh, that's weird. That's so weird. I mean, admittedly, like, I can't help but think that sometimes. Like, I've talked to people and I've been like, oh yeah, I was gaining sentience by the time you were born. Like, I already knew the difference between right and wrong and that the world wasn't fair. And that at the end of the day, it's just you against you. And then you were born. And you're like, wow, that's weird. Don't say that. I'm curious, do any of you guys remember when you gained sentience? Like, I kind of distinctly remember it being around the time I was 5, but it happened multiple times. Like, it was levels of sentience. So, like, I knew I existed and that I wasn't the only person that existed, and I understood the concept of life at, like, the age of 5. Like, it very quickly dawned on me that my actions had consequences and there was a long-term thing. But it took me a while. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe when I was 12, I think I realized that there was even more there. And I realized my free will a lot better than when I was before that. Like, it just kind of clicked suddenly, like, oh shoot, I don't have to be automated. Like, I can actually, I actually have more, more control over my actions. I don't have to do it this way. Free will kicked in. It was weird. Like, there's multiple times where I've gained sentience, I guess. I don't know. It's a little strange. I want to make sure I catch up on chat. No bed bugs, I hate them. I've luckily never had to deal with bed bugs. Thankfully. I've gone through 2 bags so far. Wait, Nathan, what month were you born? Check your calendar, I told you before. It's October, right? I think. Went to the clown hotel and it creeped me. Oh, I've never been to a clown hotel. That sounds scary, though. I don't mind clowns too much, but I don't love them. I have a friend who I've been around, and we've passed clowns, and, like, it's clear, like, he does not like clowns either. And you know what? I get it. I get it. I was like a buffer there between anything that was scary and my friends. I don't get scared very easily until somebody's chasing me. Outside of that, I'm usually fine. You were 18 when I was born. Your maths are a bit off today. 2 bags to go through left to get eggs out, but life is okay. You're almost there. You're in the home stretch. Your maths are a bit off today. What? You're literally one of my siblings' age, so you're not that old to me. 7. Why am I doing subtraction wrong? 36 isn't old. You're right. I don't know, man. It's kind of up there. I don't know, man. I can't imagine being 36 years old. That's like 14 years older than me. That's really old. Earliest memory is about 7 years old. I was 7-year-old, I mean. That's fair. There's very few things I actually vividly remember at 5. 7, I definitely have a lot more memory of. It's weird how some of my memories have meshed into each other as well at the age of 5. Like, for example, I remember Skyping my mom and dad, but they insist that we never Skype. And they think that I'm thinking of when they went to the hospital to have my brother. I saw them through the big window, and they couldn't talk to me through the window, so my mom did like some sort of sign language, trying to say that she loves me, and I thought that was Skype, but apparently it was at the hospital. And there's like some weird things like that where I'm misremembering certain details, but I see it in my head. They were on the computer, but apparently I'm wrong. I don't know. What's 9 plus 10? 21. Not even a little bit. Right, you're a spring chicken. You're double my age. October, at least someone remembers. Could I tell you what day in October? Not particularly. It's not anything personal. I don't remember Coral's birthday. When is Coral's birthday? Shoot. You know what month? It's later in the year. Were you born in December, Coral? That sounds wrong. But it also sounds sort of right. Nah? You're in my calendar, I think. Hang on. Hang on. Are you? Nathan is in my calendar, sort of. I need to set that to be the yearly thing. There we go. Coral in here. Coral is not in here. Ellentley is in here. Okay. Coral, your birthday. When is your birthday? Nathan has the month blocked off in my calendar because I never learned today. All of October is just Nathan's birthday. That's fair. I have some respect. I'm gonna call you King. Is that okay? Yes. Yes, you can. People call me King. People call me Reg. Whatever you want to call me, just not late for dinner. That's the rule. Don't answer me, please. I can't do the math. Nathan says it's right. That means it is. Coral, I thought your... When is your birthday? The problem is, like, I'm conflating things in my head, I think. Coral... See, I know Coral likes Taylor Swift. So I think I just automatically went to, like, December, and I was just gonna pick December 13th, which isn't Coral's birthday. That's Taylor Swift's birthday, so it wouldn't necessarily work there. Oh, okay, yeah, let's go this way. So I'm thinking I'm just, like, adding details of people. Like, when I remember things about you, it may be right, mostly. But there will definitely be things I mess up because I'm just... I remember parts of you in the wrong order. Feels like Coral's a summer baby. Oh, Daddy Pickle, thank you for the candy. Let me grab that really quick. I hate baby zombies. No, that's so real, dude. You mind on your calendar, which you just refer to Chester. Exactly. What day is it? March 22nd. I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try. Yay. Later in the month, right? On Coral's birthday, it's like a bunch of Discord group. Are you a July baby too, Coral? I'm trying... No? Who are you? I know your name. I know your location. I sort of remember your degree. I do not know your birthday. Thank you for the candy, Daddy. Appreciate it. My name? I do remember your name, yeah. When did I tell you that? I don't know. You told me kind of over time. You told me your middle name. Then you told me your last name. And then at some point in time, I think you told me your first name too. I think. Maybe you didn't tell me your first name. Now I'm kind of second guessing that. No, you did not tell me your first name. That's somebody else that told me your first name. But I know your middle and last name. So, that's something. It is getting bad out there, guys. So I had to shut the window. It's going to get hot. Do Reg knows things? Reg knows a lot of things. A lot of things he's not supposed to know. Like, if you guys wanted me to, like... I know... I won't tell you guys specifically things that I know, but I know things that I should not know. People tell me things because they think I'm trustworthy, and I am. I would never actually dox people. But the things I have been told, because they think they can just tell me, it's crazy. I know where a lot of people live. I know a lot of people's phone numbers. I know a lot of people's first and last names. I know, I know addresses for a lot of people. I've been to some of their houses. Let's see. I have some people's moms' phone numbers. Shoot. I've even made it into some people's wills. Like, some people just trust me and I don't understand it. I'm not a bad guy by any means, and I would never share anybody's personal information. But I'm concerned. Swifty doesn't usually dox people. Not usually. You know anything else besides my first name that I didn't tell you? I'm Cook. I don't think I actually know your first name. I was thinking of somebody else who I won't name because I don't think they want me saying that I know stuff about them. But, it would have been a name that I would have thought you had deal. But also, then again, I don't know what you look like, so I don't know if you would fit the description. Hello, magenta dude and green dude. Hello, hello. How are you doing? You're getting raided by color dudes? It seems like it. Was it an awesome name? I think so. I think so. No one's getting my info? Heck yeah. Protect that info at all costs. Mohammed Marie, welcome on in. Hello, hello. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I know. I know a lot of stuff I'm not supposed to know. I remember one of my friends. I can't talk extensively about it because it was on a stream at one point in time that some of this was talked about, so you guys would be able to figure out who if I gave too much on it. But I remember one of my friends was complaining about a specific sound. And they would complain about it somewhat often. And so I kind of just guessed based off of that, their time zone, and some very slight details that they had given about family. And I guessed where they live. Not on stream, I was like, I think you live somewhere in this area. Like this circle right here. And she's like, oh my, oh my gosh, no, you can't. I'm like, what, did I get it right? And she's like, I am in that bubble. Like, are you on this side or this side? And she's like, I'm not telling you. I'm like, you know what, fair, I get it. Like I said, I've also found people's exact apartment, and I've circled, like, where I think they were sitting inside of the apartment on one of the floors. That was a lesson in online privacy, because they weren't being safe with their name, and they were kind of being a little loosey-goosey with their information, and I was like, listen, people can find you so easy with that. Don't do that. You shouldn't know anything about me. Now you got me thinking, though. I don't think I know anything about you, Nikita. I mean, I know, like, little bits and pieces, but not enough that it would be able to get me very far unless I was, like, really trying. And I don't dig into people's lives unless they tell me that they want me to. And in which case, sometimes I will. But it's usually because they ask me to, or because they're so loose with their information that if I don't do it and prove to them that bad people could find them, they could get hurt one day. I have done it in that case. You know, I never actually use my power for evil. I use it for good reason usually. But what did it start with? L. Truth or dare? Go for truth. Why not? Dude, no one is watching you fishing. Get a job. You're watching me fish, so go get a job. Also, thanks for admitting you're no one. Congrats. I'm using it to talk to you right now. I've given multiple people online my phone number. I need better security. So real. Me too, dude. As somebody who is really bad about security, I get it. There's some stuff that I have probably let slip more than once that needs to be rectified at times. Don't mess with me. I'm 59. What does your age have to do with anything, green dude? You being 59 talking to some dude on the internet is more crazy. That's the weird part. Dude, I think only 2 people know my first name, so that's fair. 3, I just found out. Dang. Worse, it's gotten, is this one person is my full name, what college I go to, and what city I live in? But, like, surely not. Yeah, definitely. They could never find you. It'd be fine. I'm not expecting anyone to show up in Belgium. People have better things to do. That's so real. Bro, Rise of the Resistance. Hey, Swiftu, how's it going? Welcome on in. How did you like it? Was it good? One of my favorite rides here, especially if it's working. Sometimes the ride has some breakdown issues and not everything's running at once. But when everything's working, it is a good experience. My favorite creator ever. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Amazing to have a breakdown. That's awesome. That's good. I remember I'm sorry. I don't want to make this all about me. But Swiftu, I hope the cast interacted with you well, because it's such a good time when they do. For those of you who don't know, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance is a ride. It's an attraction at Disney, and the entire line queue, it takes you into these prison cells, and they're the workers there. They play characters, and they pretend to be like interrogators and stuff. And so one of the time I went through and they picked on me the entire time because I was the tallest. And they had the really tall guy come out specifically to talk to us. And he looked at me, he's like, "You, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm on my way to Coruscant." And he's like, "Okay, well, what do you do? Why are you going to Coruscant?" I'm like, "I'm a politician." And he's like, he gets really, really close and looks down on me. Most intimidation I've ever felt standing in line at a Disney theme park. And he says, "Not dressed like that. You are not." And, my pride was hurt that day. I was a little hurt. I'm not gonna lie. But that was fun. It was very main character. They know how to make people feel good in those line cues, because like they're being mean, like they are actually mean sometimes. But it's nice to be a part of the story. That's one of the really cool things that they managed to do in that location. We had a party of 16 and the guy was like, "Absolutely not." That is awesome. I love it. That is the best place to have interactions. If you're not having interactions there, just even in the Star Wars section, there's a lot of good interactions. I've gotten to wave at the Mandalorian. He's a cool dude to wave at. I've had the spy that's walking around the park. I've had the spy come up and talk to me. And then I disappeared before I could get interrogated later on by the law enforcement there. But it's such a fun time. You get to actually be a part of the story there, and that's absolute peak, honestly. If any of you are a fan of Star Wars, I think it would be a fun thing, guys. It's like people forget public records exist. Yeah. The amount of times I've looked up somebody's name, found their parents, pulled their housing address from that is it's more times than I care to admit. I'm lucky because I don't live in a house that my parents own. So if they ever were to find my name and then my parents showed up for some reason, because there's not a lot of public records on just me, they will find a location, but it will not be my location. Didn't have a breakdown. I don't even slightly understand the turn from the ship at the start. They did. We had a party of 16, and the guy was like, absolutely not. A breakdown in Runaway Railroad. Went on Star Tours twice. The second time my friend got picked to beat the Rebels fight. That is awesome. That's so fun. That's awesome, dude. What's been your favorite thing so far? That's what I want to know. I've been 3 or 4 times. Did you have to cross it or go to an actual fun place? No, just visiting. Nice. Constant together when you know, we could all take a trip to go hunt down Nikita, like, together. That would be fun, chat. We could stream it. I wonder if that would get me banned. Now I'm considering it. My letterbox profile location is in the booth. That is awesome. You're such a nerd, Coral. I'm sorry, bruh. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm debating this now. I'm gonna hunt you down. We're starting a new series. You know, there's no head start. Once you know that I'm coming for you, you can try to run, but you can only try. I will find you, probably. I'll get Rainbolt to help me as well. You know, any pictures out there that are online, we're gonna look at the sky. We'll look at the gradient, and we'll go, yeah, this is where you're at. It'll be done. Probably Pirates of the Caribbean, Runaway Railroad, but really probably Rise of the Resistance. My band director named her kids after Luke and Leia. Found that out. That is cool. That is really cool, actually. I would totally go for Star Wars names, but I'd have to be careful about it, because I do live in a family that that wouldn't be considered cringe, but my family knows Star Wars well enough that they'd hear it and they go, yeah, you named your kids after Star Wars characters, and it's like, you're such a nerd. And like, it's not, there's nothing wrong with being a nerd. Like, in my humble opinion, they are still very good characters to look up to. But that's just me. Emmanuel, welcome on in. Hello. Hope you're doing well. Animal Kingdom today was kind of mid, honestly. Animal Kingdom is the worst of all of them, in my opinion. If you got to go to Pandora, like the Flight of Passage, that's a good ride. It's a pretty good experience. If you like shows, then you may have enjoyed, like, The Lion King. I've not been to any of their new stuff. Like, I think, don't they have Zootopia there now? I haven't been since they've opened up that stuff. So down one day. Baby. Go, no, get in the water, get in water, get in water. You're in my domain, buddy. Ooh. Okay. There we go. Hide somewhere in Belgium with a box of Belgian goods. First one to find me gets to keep the stuff. That sounds amazing. You're like a loot llama. I like it. To be honest, I ended up getting everyone's sorry chocolates. Because why would anyone want to come to Belgium? But waffles! Like, dude, I'd be in heaven. I know not everybody else might like a waffle, but an authentic Belgian waffle, that's all I need. Cheap goods. I skipped Flight of Passage, but I did get to go on the other Avatar ride. The other one's interesting. I'm not huge on, what is it? Is it like The Way of the Water or something like that? The Navi River, right, that's what it is. I'm not huge on it, but, you know, it's a good little boat ride, I think. In Belgium? Where I need to know your places? Yeah, you know, cheap is a subjective word, right? Zootopia's a 4D show? Yes. It used to be Bugs Life, and that ride traumatized generations of children. It was, yeah, I every time we go there, I hear a new sound of a new group of children get absolutely traumatized. I remember they took my niece and I mean, I'll spoil it because it's not there anymore. There was stink bugs in there. For those of you who have seen A Bug's Life, you know, Hopper's in it. The seats will kick you and make you feel like there's bugs crawling on you by blowing wind very, very lightly. Spiders drop down from the ceiling, but they're not real spiders. They're not dropping all the way down, but if you look up, you'll see them dangling. It's a traumatizing experience. Now, I'm sure Zootopia is a lot less traumatizing, hopefully. I can't imagine how they'd make silly, goofy animals scary. Bugs are just a natural thing that a lot of people are terrified of, so it was a time. Main reason why I visited: cheap cigarettes and tobacco. Don't tempt me with goodies, but they're so expensive. How bad is London? Very bad. I imagine, does London like have a high tax on that kind of stuff? Probably. Still traumatizing. Oh, lovely. For different reasons, or that's scary. Oh no, just inhale the car fumes. See, here in America, that's how a lot of people, I'm not finishing that. There's a good joke there. A really dark joke, but we're not gonna go on that one. Wasn't worth the 55-minute wait, though, the river one. Yeah, it's, for me, I've been enough times that I kind of look at it and go, 55-minute wait is probably unavoidable. For that river ride, though, absolutely not worth it. It's good to do once if you're gonna go again, but it's also 55 minutes you're not getting back. Right, oops, maybe don't. No, smell the car fumes, do it. I remember, okay, this is probably bad. I remember one time, I don't know if this isn't bad to share. No, it's not. Back when I lived in the Midwest, we had a garage, and it was attached to our house. And my dad would park his car in there. And, my dad, I love him, okay? I really do. I'm gonna say something that's probably a little bit mean. But he can't remember anything. Like, he's very forgetful at times. This was kind of at the beginning of that, where like he just was starting to get very forgetful of stuff. He forgot to turn off the car. Now, in his defense, this was the first time he had ever owned a car that had a push to start and push to stop engine. You know, it wasn't a key start. So I think he just forgot to press the button. He had the key in his hand and he just wasn't thinking. He left it in the garage for a couple of hours. And I went back in there and I just got hit with the fumes immediately. Like, it was enough to almost take me out. I was like, I understand how people die of this. We opened up that garage and let it air out for hours. It was like probably 4 or 5 hours before we finally shut the door. I mean, yeah, once you breathe that stuff in, man, it's awful. And, like, you don't even think about it, but in the city, for example, like you mentioned, Belgium, I'm sure it's everywhere. And, like, here, if you go to any of our large cities where there's a lot of car traffic, I wonder how much that affects your physical health. The residence line was a nightmare. I bet. It's probably slow. If they were operating on a reduced capacity, it's even slower. The nice thing about the Rise of the Resistance line is the line is also part of the experience to some degree. So once they get you through the main... Once they get you onto the first part of the experience, the rest of it is all exciting. Because you actually get like a mini ride in the middle of the line. And then you feel like you're actually a part of it, which is cool. It has seats along the way too. Yes, it does. It's one of the few lines that actually does, because Disney has become more ADA friendly. Disney World has become more ADA friendly. The Disneyland parks are actually very, very compliant. Out in California, but Florida, they're catching up. And a lot of that just has to do with the fact that it's all built on hills in a lot of places, and it's an uphill battle to fix all that stuff. Quite literally, uphill. To be fair, I just checked the price list on their website. They're close to our prices now, although a little cheaper. Luxembourg is the place to go now, probably. And you thought it couldn't get more boring than Belgium? Dang, shots fired. Fair though. We're outside, went in the ship. Boom, we got kidnapped somehow, somewhere. I'll tell you what, Swift dude. There was one day, my brother and I, we went to go ride the ride, and it broke down, and a lot of people left the line, but they got it fixed before we left the line. Because we decided we were going to stay for 10 minutes until they decided to kick us out. And so as they were clearing the line, they started talking to the radio, and they said, hey, we got the ride working. Like, stop telling people to leave. By the time they got to us, though, there weren't very many people behind us because they had kicked a lot of people. They closed the line off. And then they kicked out a bunch of people in front of us. So by the time we got into the ride, it was just me and my family that were riding. So it was like 3 boys, and I think my mom was with us that time. It may have been my sister. And we ended up getting that experience of getting kidnapped to ourselves, which was really unique, because when the officer boards the vessel to talk to you, it was really weird, because there's like one short girl looking up at these 3 tall guys and she's got to be authoritative for the role. And I felt bad. I felt a little bit bad. I'm like, yeah, you know, they didn't send you into the right grouping here. I'm sorry. Bro, long time no see. Hello, Devil Gaming. Welcome on in. Hello, hello. Or yes, from what I see on Google, they're half the price of ours. It depends on the state. But yeah. The US does have some pretty low prices. Some places where they're trying to basically outright discourage it, the tax rate is very, very high. So, it's very expensive. If you're in one of the states where they just don't care, tax rate very low on tobacco products, and they don't cut you off. In fact, it's encouraged. You should buy one more pack. If you want to spend 2K on a ticket, sure, yeah. It is bad. They should try to outlaw it. I get why they don't. And I get... It is bad. I mean, you know, the research backs it up. It's not necessarily good. It's definitely not good. Other habits are definitely worse. I will say that. You know, I look at it. The big one I struggle with right now, not me as a person struggle with, but I struggle with the idea of, is like the vapes, for example. Because it's marketed in a way that appeals to teenagers. And I think knowing that teenagers are getting a hold of these and they're not supposed to be, is... That should say something about how broken the system is. I don't have an issue with them selling that kind of stuff. I have an issue with the teenagers getting a hold of all that stuff. Your mind isn't even fully developed. Like, I don't know. It's just, you're still a baby. Respectfully, don't do that to yourself. Just popping back in. Tickets for what? Tickets to get to the US. Nathan was talking about traveling for tobacco products. In Europe, you can catch a train, for example, and boom, you're there. Here, if we want to get to you guys, yeah, it's expensive. Even just traveling across the country for us, it's about $800 for me to catch a flight from where I'm at to the West Coast. It is just expensive. That being said, yes, the US is huge. And you know, we don't have, well, we do have cross-country train travel. It's just not exactly cheap either. And by the time you look at how much time you spent on the track, you kind of go, maybe the plane ticket wasn't so bad. Does it spin the ship to get the other part of the ride, or how does that work? Yes. So it actually, I won't ruin all the magic, but yes, pretty much. I think they actually have a video of it somewhere of how they actually designed the ride. You might find that interesting because Imagineering is a very interesting career. You might find that interesting too. Because there's an art to it, but it's also engineering, and it's also new age technology in a lot of cases. They invent things in order to make these rides work. I thought we were talking about concerts. Concerts are fun. I want to go to one again. I think people wouldn't want to risk getting lung problems over there with their hospital bills. Yeah. You'd think a lot of people wouldn't risk a lot of things, but I think more and more the sentiment, and this is just across the world, I've noticed, but here in the US, I see it firsthand. And this is going to be a little more depressing, and I apologize for that. People just don't care. People are disillusioned. They're disenchanted with the idea of trying. And so it's not so much that they want to perish, but it's more so they're not gonna prolong their life necessarily either. And that should really tell you something about the state of the world we live in. And there's infinite numbers of reasons to cause that. But I think a lot of it is just my age group I can speak for in specific. They're disillusioned. I mean, we were told so many things when we were kids. And 99% of that all ended up being lies. You know, one lie in specific that really irks me right now is if you try hard enough, you'll succeed, or something like that. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie right there. You can try and try and try, and it turns out it does not matter. They don't have to reward that. You can work a job for 20 years and they just may not care and give you a promotion. You can go to school and still somehow fail even if you do try because the teacher doesn't help you. You know, I've seen so many of my friends go through college and their professors have been like absolute idiots. Like, not in the sense that they don't know what they're talking about, but they teach it one way, and then if you ask a question, they can't explain it in a way that actually helps you. They just assume everybody can learn the same way. If you go the alternate route and try to teach yourself, you're screwed as well, because even if you do know it, you need the degree from college in order to get the job. You know, we were told as kids, you know, find a job that you enjoy and you'll have a fulfilled life. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy what I'm doing right now. I love this. Fulfillment isn't exactly the word I would use. Like, I love this more than anything else I've ever done. But I don't think I would... This isn't gonna be my legacy, right? Right? Like, I'm not gonna have an existential crisis on you all, but I don't think I just want to be known as a streamer, or a content creator, or whatever job title I have. Like, you should enjoy your job, don't get me wrong. But that was such a heavy emphasis on my childhood, not from my parents even, but just from everybody. That was kind of across the board. They're like, get a job that you like so you don't get burnt out and you don't end up like me, working until you're 60 or 70, 80 years old now, and retiring and going, man, I wish I did this other job that I liked better, and took a little bit of a pay cut. You know, I'm sitting there going, man, I wish I started earlier on relationships, because, like, I find so much more fulfillment in that. I wish I spent a lot more time developing skills in my high school days rather than my trying to develop them in my young adult days. I wish I got involved in creative stuff a lot earlier. You know, I was always into Minecraft, but I didn't, you know, when I was a kid, again, they told us creativity was not going to be a sustainable job source, which it's not. There are jobs where you can be creative and make money, but we weren't taught how to apply that to real world jobs. You know, it was you get a job that pays bills, and if you find something you love, then you do that and you pay your bills. But you can't get anything art related. How are you gonna make money? You know, that's the joke. I think on TV, like, there was a Progressive commercial at one point, Progressive Insurance, and somebody on there says, so what are you studying? And they go, I got an art degree. And they're like, have you thought about how you're gonna make money? And it's like, yeah, that's pretty much the how we grew up. And, you know, I don't blame my parents. I don't blame the parents in my generation. But when everything you were told at a young age is either hopeless sounding, it's either been a outright lie, or it was a half-truth, but it was said in deception so that you would go a certain path. It's led to a lot of disillusionment. When you don't feel like your actions actually have any consequence in terms of, like, impact. Your actions don't have impact. You can sit there and the same result happens because when you do it, nothing happens. It feels pretty pointless. I can empathize with that with my entire generation, really. We were promised a lot of things with the tech industry. Or like, yeah, get into tech. It's a big, growing industry. I have seen how many layoffs in the last couple of years, not just due to AI. Like, this was before AI was even prevalent. Like, we were getting layoffs before that. And it's kind of like, yeah, quite literally everything that I recall being told has pretty well gone to dust. And I don't know what the rest of my generation is doing. I guess they're probably keeping their heads down and carrying on, trying to do more, but I do wonder. I do wonder about them. I don't have my citizenship yet, but once I do go to get it, I'll gauge their political opinions, and if I think it'll help, I'll tell them I think Canada should be the 51st state. Oh, that's funny. That's really funny. I won't lie. I see both sides to it. I don't think it will ever happen. And I don't know if I really think it should happen. I think there's more states that should be a state than them. You know, Puerto Rico comes to mind. But that's just one of them, for example. Canada, if the citizens truly wanted it, each province would have to decide for themselves, because we wouldn't be able to take all of Canada and make it one state. As it is right now, there's problems with places like California, where it's such a huge population that you can't really well, there's like, I'm trying to think of the way to describe California. There's like 12 different cultures in California across the entire state, and it's a big state. That's why there's that many, but that leads to a lot of divides in opinion across the whole state, which causes issues when elections come around and when democracy is exercised. So Canada could never be one whole state, but I could easily see the provinces that would work, But I don't think they want that. Most of them don't want that. I've heard a very loud minority of, I think, people in Alberta say it, but I seriously doubt it's enough that they would actually ever consider it. But that's honestly a solid strat, Coral. You're in on that one. Inside one of the containers with a banjo and ride the rails. That sounds like so much fun. Don't get robbed. Canada belongs to us, though. I mean, you know, we could share. We could share. We'll give you guys Quebec, because we don't want them anyway. And then we'll get the rest. To anybody who's in Quebec, just listen. It's only because you're French. Missed the part 1 of the Ride the Rails. Oh, I always love the idea of freight train hopping in US. Like you see in movies. Yeah. That would be fun. It would be. I wish... Sometimes I wish life was kind of more like the movies to some degree. Like, not to a huge extent, you know? Like, I like life the way it is. I like that I'm not hit by a tragedy every day. But you know what? I wish sometimes I could go on an adventure with my friends and just, like, have a crazy story to tell. It feels like back, you know, 20 years ago even, 30 years ago, our parents, grandparents, whatever, they were doing all sorts of crazy things. They got all sorts of cool, crazy stories. And we don't have that. But, like, not anymore now, it's kind of like, security cameras have ruined it. Like, let's just say it, okay? Security cameras have kind of ruined things to some degree. But arguably, you could also argue that maybe society has ruined it because they make security cameras such a necessity. You know, if we could trust people to just do the right thing regardless of if there are cameras there or not, maybe. But then you could do all those fun things where you're sneaking around and being in places where you're probably not supposed to be, but you're just exploring. You're not harming anything by trespassing, technically. You're just exploring, you know? It's not like you're being destructive there. It's not like you're threatening anybody while you're there. You're just kind of wandering around, trying to get an idea of what's going on there. There's not very many places left in the world where you can actually just go and explore. You know, there's some abandoned buildings and theme parks and stuff across the world that you can kind of go explore. But they really don't like it when you free roam them. Trespassing isn't a real crime, right? There can be a fine issued for it, but usually what ends up happening is they gotta prove that you could see the sign for it. And you, as a citizen, usually get the right where they say, hey, we're gonna warn you, get out. And then you're fine. Like, the police will show up, they'll say, hey, yeah, you can't be here, this is technically trespassing, so you need to leave. And then you're gone. But, I mean, depending on the state, some of them don't even really care if you're trespassing. There's things called, like, squatter law. So technically, if somebody's not living there, and you can prove that they've not been living there for a long enough time, you could technically camp there. I can't read. Exactly. They can't prove whether you saw the sign or not. Like, they could try to say you've had every opportunity if there was, like, one entrance and it was only around that sign. But there's a lot of assumptions there, and even then, like, unless it was just obvious you shouldn't be there, it's kind of a non-issue. That is such a good book, but it's got Curse of Vanishing. That sucks. Hello, Wolfbane. Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. The big open-sided container watching the countryside go by. Sounds so nice. It would be so fun. I mean, like, I would love to go, like, in another life. I think, like, if it were back in the day, or far enough in the future where society is having to rebuild itself or something, like, I would kind of, like, go just travel. Grab a couple of friends, go find a new place to settle. I'd be the musician of the group. I'd bring my guitar with me. Kind of just noodling around on the neck for a little bit, but, you know, maybe a couple of songs that we all know. Camp every once in a while. Maybe there's a train going by, we hop it. I mean, that would be so fun. I mean, if there were a way, okay, guys, listen, if I ever get a lot of money, okay, this is my promise to you guys. If you guys ever make me rich and famous, here's what I want to do with that money. I want to buy a big piece of land, invite a bunch of my friends to come over, and we're going to play Minecraft in real life. And then maybe, you know, we'll try to, like, travel across the earth like it's a 1990s, early 2000s kind of movie, where you can hop on the trains and ride the cargo trains, and finding boats that will let you ride. And you know, one movie or one video that reminds me of this, Ryan Trahan, he traveled across the US with only 1 penny. Something kind of like that. That would be a fun thing. You know, you don't have much. But what you do have, you could probably make a little bit of money with. And, oh, that would be fun. That would be so fun. I'm planning on making 1.2mm air mortar. Nobody's trespassing on stolen land. Billie Eilish. That was a thing that was said. There's some conflicting... I can understand the sentiment there. But there's a lot of holes in the logic with the way she said it. Like, I do believe right now there's actually a lawsuit in process to evict her from her mansion based off of that. You know, I can appreciate the sentiment. I don't know if it was the best way to say that. I don't know. I've definitely trespassed before. Luckily, people don't carry pew-pews here. Even here, you can kind of do it. Most people are actually nice here in the US. I mean, it definitely varies place to place. You know, I wouldn't trespass in certain areas in certain states, definitely. Trying to remember some of the places that I can talk about. So I've definitely done it a few times, but I don't want to, like, say it and that come back to bite me later. All I'll say is I have done it before. I've never been shot. It very easily can be a case where you get shot, depending on where you are. Standard ground states are the ones you have to be careful of. Because usually it's in favor of, yeah, you could get shot because there's no proof that what they're doing on your land is safe for them. Other states, it's kind of more loose on that. Like, you could feasibly, possibly be fine. They'd have to have proof that there was an attempt on your life, is the thing. Which is a harder burden to prove at times. What land is technically stolen in the US? Yeah. That's the thing. I mean, looking at it across the whole world, every piece of land is technically stolen, and that's just where I end up at with it. Like, people have been stealing from each other since the dawn of time. It doesn't make it right. Like, I just want to make that clear. Like, every atrocity that humankind has ever done is awful. That's why I struggle with the whole stolen land comment thing, is only because, like, how far back do we want to trace it? Like, I can guarantee you somebody had it before the people that we stole it from. Likewise, you know, places all over Europe, same deal. Like, you know, stealing from Rome, for example, you're stealing from the people who were occupied by Rome. And beyond that, like, who did they take that land from? And then it's kind of like, how far back do you really go before it's kind of like, yeah, we don't care anymore? And I don't know what the proper answer is there. I'm just yapping at this point. Yeah, I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know if there is a right answer, technically. I think compassion, generally speaking, is probably the right answer. And how you choose to show compassion, both to the people living there and the people who used to live there. That's very important. Respect doesn't go just to one party, but rather I think it should be for all parties. There should be some form of respect. I don't know. That's not really what I try to use my platform for. I'm just a silly Minecraft gamer. Rose, welcome on in. Hello, hello. Trying to give her mansion back to the tribe. Yeah, not to an American history to be able to comment on whether it is or isn't. Fair. There should be a federal law where it says if private property you can be shot. The only reason I see that being a problem, and it's a pretty big reason, is there are cases where people genuinely don't know. And, you know, for example, it's easy enough for somebody to, like, for example, if I kidnapped somebody and brought them to my property and then shot them and said they were trespassing, like, that would be murder. But I could easily just say, well, they wandered here, and so they were trespassing. As long as I hide my tracks that I kidnapped them, like, it just looks like they trespassed. They wandered onto my property. That's why there's the laws that they have, is so that it makes it harder for you to just kill somebody out of malicious intent. um, and instead it puts the burden of proof on you to prove that yes, that person was actually, one, armed, two, had intent to harm you. I get why people don't love that. I get why people want the right to defend themselves. This might be controversial, but I am a proponent for the Second Amendment. I'm an American. That shouldn't surprise people, really. I'm not a fan of people looking for excuses to shoot each other. That's what I'm not a fan of. And more often than not, people use the Second Amendment as a cover up to try to say, well, why can't I shoot them in this situation? It's like, no, our intent should never be to ever have to kill somebody with our gun. You have the right to bear it just in case somebody does. You have the right to defend yourself. But that doesn't mean you have a right to harm somebody who does not have an intent to harm you. And there's a fine line there, and a lot of people miss it. And that's probably as much as I'll say on that, because much more in it starts leaning more into the political side rather than the reasoning side. I can reason laws. I don't really prefer to jump into political compass. That's not what my point is here on the internet. I like playing Minecraft. That's really why I'm here. Don't give people ideas, Rag. I know. I'm really good at that. All land belongs to the dinosaurs first, I guess. Yeah, I mean, technically. Hang on, my mom just texted me. My mom had a surgery, so if she needs something, I need to get her. What does redeem name tag do? It will turn me upside down. I'm gonna go down and check on my mom really quick. I will be right back. Sit tight, guys. Sorry. Take water with. Alright, sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Hello. Free chair stream, I know. Okay, hate me when he comes back. Why? He will see. Oh boy. Oh boy. Alright. Oh, lovely. Emote only. I've been kind of debating removing that. I'm not gonna lie. Emote only and ad time. Wolfbane, thank you for the candy, appreciate it. I like this option, me too, me too. Yeah, I mean the VIPs and mods love it. It works out for them. That's fair. He's quiet. Only cool people get to talk this way, it's awesome. Hit accords, Nikita, I'm sorry. Rose, you too. Okay. What time is it? I know my friend will be calling me at some point in the next hour, probably. Let me see when the ads are playing next. That'll decide how much longer we can go for today. We've got about 30 minutes till next break. So we'll do 15 just to be sure. Hey Siri, set a timer for 15 minutes. Okay, time for you to get watch. Crazy. Alright, here's the candy. It is so hot in my room, this is actually melted. I'm not even gonna be able to take it out of the wrap. It is toasty. If I could, I would swap shirt. Admiral, that is wild. That is actually wild. Back to jail. You're so mean. What? It's my right? I mean, it is. Like, I can't stop you from doing it. We may need to rework the pricing on it. That might be the problem. 700 is a decent chunk, but it is like for what, 2 minutes? And it affects over half the chat. One could argue maybe, just maybe, what flew on my boot? No. You always complain when I don't spend my 665.9 thousand points. That's... See, I don't, it's not that I complain that you're not spending it, it's that you don't tell me what you would spend it on, and then you do it to just make everybody else suffer, like, a ton. That's the only problem. If it wasn't the mass suffering you cause for such a low price, I would consider allowing it more. That's fun, bruh. Show off. Admiral has way too many channel points. Unfortunately, there's just not a good way to drain them off of him. Like, he's got so many, and I can't make anything that he can purchase that would eat away it. Like, it's just that way. Kermit time. Alright, everybody, it is Kermit time. We are fishing. Welcome back, Rose and Wolf and Kitticords. Please don't do that again. I think he might. He just might, now that you asked him not to do it. I won't do it again for a bit. Just know you live at my mercy. That is... Thanks for that. That is... Ominous. We're just gonna ignore the part where Admiral could have technically actually just turned on emote only mode. He didn't even have to redeem it, but at least he spent his own currency, right? They said please, the least I can do. That's a little bit, you know what? Yeah, no, that's very, very merciful of you. How nice. I don't know how to feel about that. Didn't say I couldn't do it. That's also true. 30 more points than I will. I would never abuse mod. You're one of the few that haven't, actually. Surprisingly. Really. Nobody else has really held to that. Huh. Oh my gosh, it's hot. I think I might, swap the fan rotation here in a minute. When does the weather cool back down? Tomorrow. Weather cools back down tomorrow. I'm in that weird, awkward spot in time where the ceiling fan is turning one way, but it's too hot that way. But when you turn it the other way, it's too cold. And I, don't have the... I don't have the mental capacity for this right now. I'm having like a mini heat stroke. You better believe when this stream is over, I am probably going to take off this shirt. And then I'll probably put on a different shirt, but maybe I won't for a little bit because it's cold. I need to cool down. I really need to cool down. You broke the voice. I did. I know. I apologize. That's not cool. Yeah, I remember you saying right after the stream got back up, we're gonna go for another 20 minutes. I did say that, didn't I? And it's been another hour and a half. I lied. I lied. I'm very human. I lie sometimes. Oops. It's okay. 9 more minutes, and then we'll be done. Right? Usually in stream I mod and I forget most of the time I'm a mod and never even do anything with it. That's kind of fair. Refunding those points. Just wait. Me. Which mod doesn't refund all the redeems they buy? The taxes you spent on silencing us. I don't refund my points because I like knowing I earned my wealth. GG's, I guess. I think that's a GG. Thank you for the hydrate rose. I appreciate it. Go over there. I'm better than all of you in every way, and I don't even have to cheat. That's really mean. What the heck? I have done nothing wrong to you. I have only ever been good, and this is how I get repaid. The only command I know as mod is ban. I do mod for a couple of other streamers, and ban and timeout are one of the most used commands. It's right up there with shoutout, but ban is definitely up there. Definitely up there. Oh, that is a really nice book. Didn't even do anything to you, King. You're just being mean to my viewers. That's what you did. They're my loyal subjects, and you're just subjugating them to your will. Medium Turtle, welcome on in. I hope you're doing well. All you need to be honest, pretty much. They like it when I'm mean to them? I don't think they really do, if I'm being 100% honest. But, maybe they do. I think Nathan might like it. I don't know that 100%, but I think it's possible. Can you solve my riddle of the day? I would love to hear it. I would love to hear your riddle. Rose, thank you for the hydrates. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks for watching. Admiral, you're gonna have to, refund those, because I'm out of water. I really only did one hydrate right there. If 2 apples fall from a tree, and one wants to stay behind, how can that apple grow from the tree if it never wants to change? Two apples fall from a tree, and one wants to stay behind. How can that apple grow from the tree if it never wants to change? I don't know. I don't know. Wouldn't they both just hang out there? Like they can walk away? I mean, that would make sense, I think. Posture check, thank you, Admiral. You refunded all the hydrates instead of just all of them but one. You are very merciful. I respect that. I respect that. I think. I am losing my Kermity voice. I think we need to Kermit up. See, you have all that power. So much for not refunding. You give up? I give up. I give up. Yes. The point of the riddle is growth requires change. Without it, there is no growth. I see. Okay. Yes. I mean, I agree with that. That's why I was stumped, I suppose. There is no way around it. You have to change to grow. No shot, you're fishing again? I am fishing. How are you doing, honey bun? Welcome on in. We're committed. We're committed to getting the mending. The mending, yes. We got Kermit, yes. Ooh, we could fish on the horse. We should fish on the horse. This is a new one. We haven't ever fished on horse. How was everybody's day today, by the way? We got like 3 more minutes in the stream, so I want to talk about you guys. How are you guys doing? This is also a subtle ploy of how I, end up not having to talk as much, because or think, rather. I just let you guys do the thinking, and then I do the reading, and then I just kind of give my cold mid-take about how cool your day was. That's pretty much all I do. It's kind of like a distraction technique to create more dialogue without actually openly saying, hey, I can't think right now, and I need more dialogue. I'm just exposing all the industry secrets today, I suppose. It's not just fishing anymore. Exactly. Exactly. Bro's just yapping about how he yaps. Exactly. You see, I am a master yapper. I yap more than Everything I'm thinking of is kind of offensive to say now that I'm thinking about it. At least half of my audience right now is, might be partially offended by, by that, that joke I was gonna make. So I'm gonna refrain. Just know it was really funny. So, fishing, am I right? Yay, fishing! I'm fishing on a horse. That's not fair? What's not fair? Fishing on a horse? I think it's very fair. Or is it about the joke that I was gonna make? Because I think it's very fair that I do not make the joke. Although it would have been really funny. I wanted to do a joke now. It was just gonna kind of be about women. And... you know... Maybe I shouldn't make the joke. I love women. I love women a lot. They're my favorite species on this planet. Like, I'm not saying... Women are, by far, probably the coolest people I know. And I would never do them any harm. Shout out to all the women out there. It's not helping you, Kermit. I think it's helping me. Let's get out of here. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time, guys. It's time. Did you know it's time? It's time. We put away the stuff. Come on, we had a good 4 years. Let's get canceled. You know, I said a lot worse things than what I'm thinking of in my career. It's just, I actually have thought about it a little bit. And maybe, just maybe, it's not worth it. I love women, me too. Women are great. Like, woo women. We love women. All my homies love women. Women are the real homies, honestly. You know, women can take more than men. That made a whole worse joke in my head. Thank you for that, Nikita. I'm really biting myself. I have to bite my tongue on that one. That would not be family friendly of me. Yeah, I was just gonna make a joke about how, like, women stereotypically talk, like, so much, and they talk so much. But, you know, women are great. I love them. Genuinely. Y'all shout out women. Seriously. Like, Admiral, no, actually, you know what? I'll do it. Yes, everybody, join us in following woman. I also follow women. I follow them all the time. We love women. If you click on the account, we don't know much about them, but we're sure women is great. Oh, this is beautiful. Women hasn't streamed recently. Really? I follow a lot of women, but... oh my gosh. I'm gonna follow the woman account. I have to. That's peak. Speaking of peak, no, I don't have any streamers that are playing peak right now. I don't stream on Sundays this late. We need a new person. Chat, help me. Chat, help me. I need to pick somebody to raid. Following women, are you sure? I'm sure. I follow a lot of women. I don't follow women. That's quite crazy, Coral. That's really crazy. I am one of the 1.3k who support women. Eric? We rated Eric yesterday, but yeah, we could rate him again, I suppose. He's a good guy. About me, we don't know much about them, but we're sure women is great. I followed. Women are great. We love women. I don't know, the only one I see. Alright, let's go, we'll say hello to Eric then. He's doing a subathon. And he's on day 2 on the one-shot server. It's a hardcore server. I am familiar with it. You just leveled up on the stalker game. Well, listen, you gotta know your enemy. So I say that like women are my enemy. I love women. I've just been over this over and over and over again. Women are great. Love women. I love women a lot. I love women. Just love up on the stalker game. Thanks for the Sunday stream. Bye bye. Thank you guys so much for being here. For those of you who it's very late, go sleep. You Europeans, I know you. Go sleep. For those of you who are in the US, it's also starting to get late. If you have school tomorrow, sleep. But for those of you who can, please stick around. Check out Eric. He's a cool dude. And I'll catch you guys next time. Appreciate y'all. Shout out to the women. Bye-bye.